Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the YeeHaw Lads podcast, episode number 94. If you caught the tail end of last week's episode, we were all hyped about going to Supercross in Indianapolis.
And totally didn't
and
go.
then we didn't do it.
Well, Marcus went to Indianapolis.
I went
Marcus,
to Indy.
he did go to Indianapolis, but the rest of us ended
not
up
for Supercross.
Andy texted me at like 2 in the afternoon. He's like, we're going to be late. I'm like,
Yeah, I just got done working on the Subaru to go back home. I'm like, you know, we could be in. And there were so many more people than I thought would have. Like,
oh god,
Brendan Hefner was there. I probably knew about 10 people total who, like, 10 different people who put it up on Snapchat.
Oh, yeah.
And then I saw later in the week other people like were tagged in pictures from it. I'm like, I probably knew fucking 25 people who went.
Yeah, it's like my coworker Joe went, and like while he was there, he saw like one of his buddies there. He didn't even know was there.
Exactly. Yeah.
He's just like, everybody went. He's like, it was packed.
Yeah.
Of course, it was on daylight savings time was that night.
Yeah.
He's like, on the way home, they left Indiana, so they lost an hour.
Yeah.
And the time
Immediately
jumped and
gained
gained it back.
Ew.
He's like, my whole week's I can't tell what time it is. He's like, I'm so messed up. But no, we ended up not going because we all like were working on stuff and tired and gross. Marcus went to Indy though.
I already was planning on going to Indy for I forget the
Couples
name
weekend.
of it was couples weekend, but we were going to some like soda place.
Supercross. No.
Twister, that's the name
That's
of it.
the game where you get all wrapped up with fucking
Twister.
dots.
They do like crazy sodas and stuff.
Like soda fountains.
They also had like Red Bull ones, and I had one. It was pretty fucking good.
You had one.
We all ordered 2 sodas apiece.
Yeah, it'll come up. It just shows the IMAX experience.
No, go to
the Indiana Twisters?
No.
The professional indoor soccer team?
Twister's Soda Bar. And then there was another one that we went to.
Twister Soda Bar. I'll be damned. He's not lying.
Yeah.
Your
Wow.
favorite soda with a refreshing
This
twist.
looks...
The ice looks delicious.
You like the little kid's face?
Sonic
I
ice.
love the little the
Yeah.
nugget
Like,
ice.
Yeah.
I'm not a big little ice guy.
What did I get?
If I eat it, yes.
I'm
if
not gonna
I'm
download
drinking
the
it,
menu.
then no.
Fucking show me
Dr. Pepper.
Dr. Peppy.
So I had a creamsicle, which is orange crush, vanilla, and vanilla cream. And then I got a Red Bull one.
Vortex.
Or not a Red Bull.
Yeah,
Vortex.
these are the
Mountain
energy
Dew
drink.
one.
Yeah.
They got one with Ghost Energy
Little
or what?
Sebastian.
No.
Parks and Rec.
White Monster, Mountain Dew, Strawberry, Passion Fruit, Coconut Cream. Holy
That's.
There's a lot
These
of
sound
stuff in these
vile.
drinks.
I
and
wonder
they're
why America's
very
so fat.
fucking sweet.
The White Monster is sugar-free. We're good. So
Okay.
you're just dumping gallons of sugar around
Yeah.
it.
There was a lot of sugar. Like
I
the
don't know,
Red Bull one I got. It
Red
was
Bull lemonade, strawberry, pina colada.
Yeah.
Again, that's
I-
probably banging.
they were good, but like I got like halfway through. I'm like,
44 ounces for
I have to
$4.50.
stop. They were fucking cheap.
You didn't bring us back any?
It's
No,
syrup
I-
and
okay.
carbonated water.
Anyway.
So that whole weekend we went to like a couple of different places. And one of the places that we did go to because we saw it on the way back was the Uranus Fudge Factory.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
So I got us a 4-pack of shot glasses, but I forgot them at home, so I'll bring them next week.
Wow.
You know what else you saw on the way there and back?
What?
The Subaru factory.
Yeah. Oh. Yeah. So I
Did you
was.
stop or like look at it or no?
He thought about it.
So,
You thought about fucking going and burning the place
Tori-
You
down?
can see him get visibly angry whenever he mentions the Subaru factory.
Tori and Mackenzie wanted to go to Fairlife, the
The dairy farms?
the dairy farm.
Hell yeah.
We went
And
there?
so yeah,
Is
we
that
went there
what-
for FFA.
Yeah.
Cows.
It was for a
Cows.
national convention. I almost puked in the birthing barn because I was very sick that trip.
Oh, I thought. Okay.
Because the birthing.
Birthing.
The
I'm like, oh,
birthing.
neat.
Anyway.
Man, let me tell you, if you ever
Please
watch
don't tell me. Please don't tell
a lady go elbow deep into a cow and pull a baby calf out, it's not a pleasant experience.
It gives you a
to
new
watch.
appreciation for ground beef.
It really does.
See, this is how I know you spend too much time on TikTok. Because if you were on Instagram, I saw that
Oh,
3
God.
times this week.
Oh, I've seen it before, but man, when you see it for the first time, it kind of opens your eyes a little
In
bit.
person's a little different.
Yeah,
that's fair.
I see plenty of horrific things on Instagram.
But yeah,
love it
so
so
I was
much.
scrolling on my phone, watching TikToks and shit in the back.
No,
and Tori goes,
no.
"Oh look, it's the Subaru plant," and I immediately go, "Fucking pull over! I gotta fist fight somebody in that fucking parking
I
lot."
gotta talk to some dudes in here. And you didn't.
No, they didn't pull over. I wasn't driving. I was very upset. I was like,
Lucky
"No,
you.
turn around."
Turn this car around.
gonna
You should have
beat
at least
the
gotten
shit
a
out of
picture of you
somebody.
flipping it off.
He was too busy watching
Yeah, I was
TikToks.
too
The
busy
camera wasn't
watching
open.
God forbid, yeah.
God forbid. If you would have known, you could have planned it. Fucking nope.
Yeah.
But so you went to Indianapolis. I guess Andy, what'd you do? All right.
Yeah.
Cool.
Friday.
Didn't
I
go to
think I
autocross?
worked.
Or
We didn't go to autocross. You're also correct on that.
You're wrong weekend anyway.
Supercross.
Or Supercross. Yeah. I thought you meant autocross for Badlands.
You meant
like that was last week.
You meant Rallycross, but you said
Yeah.
autocross, but you meant Supercross.
Anyway, yeah.
Anyway, God, we're bad at this.
I think I was working on the Subaru Friday.
you think or
I
you
would-
know?
I don't have a single
Good
clue.
What else
Lord,
would you
man.
had to do? I guess.
Yes, it was Friday. Yeah, so I went Friday.
Just like that.
Tore apart the Subaru. I was started.
Okay, why did you tear it apart?
Was starting the drum to disc conversion on the back.
In the
On
rear.
the rears.
Yes. Turns out there's no fucking write-ups pretty much at all. And anything that was there, they used all Subaru part numbers, which they don't fucking make anymore.
Yep.
So they all got replaced with Dorman.
So
well,
does nobody have a write up because most of these cars came with discs? in the
yes,
back?
everything but the Brightons. Yeah.
Everything but your model.
Yeah, so I'm gonna make once I'm fully done, I'm gonna make a parts list and like picture list and whatnot of everything that I
How
did,
to.
And then
and put it in the Facebook groups and be like,
Good for
hey,
you.
just so everybody knows, this is what you should do.
Good for
and then
you.
rewrite it to take the rage out of it.
Probably
Have
maybe.
ChatGPT take the condescending tone
Yeah,
out.
make this not angry, please.
Yeah,
It fucks up the part numbers anyway.
yeah. But,
Someone follows your write up and it doesn't work.
so I'm just kind of like freeballing this shit, honestly.
I mean, that's
thugging
just
it
kind of
out.
how we roll through life.
yeah,
I don't.
So
I
the-
do it by the book. My own book, but still.
Yeah.
Anyway. Yeah.
The knuckles I sourced came out of the same car that my engine came out of for when I replaced it before the main trip. It was a sedan
Sedan.
with a 2.2 and an automatic.
Yeah.
Yep.
I was thinking
Basically-
of your parts car that you had up on your truck.
No, that was yeah. I also robbed the parts off of that because that had drilled and slotted rotors.
Yeah.
So I'm using those
Makes you
rotors and pads.
way faster.
Or yeah, the rotors and pads.
Hey, weight reduction.
That's not what that's
It's
for.
matches the front really. I don't care.
Anyway.
But yeah,
Because all I know about is you had called me complaining about how everything's wrong and you hate your
it's
life.
so.
I mean,
just-
isn't that just working on a Subaru?
It's
well,
so much worse,
it's
though.
it'd be better if I knew what the fuck I was doing, but like it's literally just kind of shooting in the dark and be like,
Hey,
hope
man.
these parts fit, or oh hey, I still need to get those parts, and
Or you
yeah.
ordered a master cylinder from O'Reilly's. And
Yeah,
then-
turns out that the master cylinder I bought had only 2 ports. The one in my car has 3.
Yep.
Don't know why.
don't know where the other
Don't know
port-
where the brake lines go. Like
It's
I'm
just
very
a-
confused.
It's just to stand there with your hands on your hips and go, haha, well, fuck me, I guess.
Especially when O'Reilly's is like 35 minutes for you, probably.
it's 32.
Yeah,
I think,
Every
yeah.
bit of it, yeah. You're just
Yeah.
like, huh.
Yep.
Well, this
Well,
sucks.
now what?
But I did have to go pick up the soft brake lines, the rubber hoses, and those look like they should work.
Okay.
The biggest piece of shit, or like biggest pain in the ass, was
Was the whole car?
the
No.
parking brake cables.
Yes.
Oh,
Well, that's
yeah.
one of the. You had 2 major pain in the asses.
Yes, yeah.
The one-
I will get to that eventually.
Start with
but
the
yeah,
parking brake
brake cables. I was like, I just kind of assumed that they would all be the same, or like maybe different lengths, whatever.
Or
But
there's
no,
a different clip and it bends a little different, but it's
No.
similar.
no,
No.
They are way different length. Nothing on O'Reilly's is even relatively close. It is either 40-inch parking brake cables or 90-inch parking brake cables.
Ooh, that's
Jesus
a big
Christ.
difference.
I
Are you
needed
parking
I needed
braking your trailer?
66.02 and 67.125.
So just cut the cable and weld it back together.
Doesn't really work.
No.
Braided cable doesn't really work.
Yeah, not at all. Not
I
well,
mean-
the ends were also different per backing plate. The drum
What
backing
the
plates,
fuck?
the drum backing plates were like a clip-in style, and you bend a tab. The ones that I'm going to use that are the disc brake ones, it's like it has a little metal piece. Yeah, if you want to zoom in
It's
on
like zoom way in
the
on
right side or the left side there, it's that little.
This little nubbin.
No, on the back. That's what's inside the drum on the left a little bit left still.
What? Oh, this?
That.
Oh, this
that
looks
is what
different.
clicks into the back of the backing plate. So the
Okay.
rest of that cable is inside of the
Sure.
backing plate.
I
essentially.
gotcha.
But that is way different to the one on the drum brake.
Of course it
And
is.
the one that I got off the parts car was cut with a torch, just like everything else was. Because I told him, like, just give me the knuckle. That way I have the brakes,
Yep.
parking
everything.
brakes.
It's all assembled.
It's all
I can see how
assembled,
it goes
yes,
together
exactly.
too. Yeah.
And they just torched everything, which I don't care. But
Included the
but I
parking brake
pulled the
cable.
parking brake cable out. I'm like, oh, that's way different from the parking brake cable that came off the drum brake backing plates.
Oh, that's way worse.
To get to the backing plates, you have to remove the fucking flange, aka pull the wheel bearings.
Mm-hmm.
Oh.
Yeah.
Well, wait, are they bolted in the rear?
No, they are press in.
Oh, yours are?
Yes.
Oh, no.
Front, yeah, there's 2 bearings. There's 4
Go
races.
fuck yourself.
Yeah.
Oh.
Well, I should have I would have been done with this almost. Besides
Almost.
If it
besides the
wasn't for,
besides the parking brake
it being a
cables
Subaru.
and the soft hoses, I could have been done with this if I just from the start unbolted the knuckle and bolted the new one in. Instead, I took apart the new knuckle and the old knuckle, and
Now I
then
have
I'm
no
like,
idea where shit goes.
Well, I do, but it's a matter of like
it's
how
just a big puzzle now.
I got the flange out so I could get the backing plate off because I was planning to just reuse the same knuckles that were on it and bolt the backing plate on. Well, the problem is they have different cables and I can't reuse the cables and this and that, whatever.
Right.
So I'm like, okay, something needs to change now. So in doing so, I had already had the new knuckles apart, aka the flange was out, the backing plate was off, and one wheel bearing was out because it stayed on the flange. When I took apart the old knuckles to try to bolt these on,
Which one of the old ones? The ones on your car?
on
or
the car,
donor? Okay.
on the car, yeah. When I took apart that, it pulled out just the flange, not the bearing. So I'm like, okay, so I can either just press in the new flange and still struggle to take this bearing off, or the brand. By the way, they had brand new bearings on the parts car. So I'm like, really wish I knew that, so I could have just bolted this whole knuckle on and been done. But
Yeah, why
I
do
didn't.
all your parts cars have such nice pieces on them, and then they're parts cars somehow?
Yeah, I don't know.
Like the parts car that you bought had like the car you bought whole
Yes.
had like a fuel leak, and the guy's like, "I'm tired of it. Get rid of it."
No, that one was timing. It was
it that one?
yes, the
Thought-
green one.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was timing. The timing was all tore apart.
Maybe it was something else. I thought like the gas tank leaked. He's like, "I'm tired of it."
I think
dripping,
it was
take
that
it."
also. Yeah.
Probably both, but
But yeah, easy fixes for both, honestly. But the guy didn't finish the timing. He's like, I'm just over it now.
That's true. That is what
Yeah,
it was.
And I paid for the car what I would have paid for a new hitch for my car. So
just too mechanically and fucking competent to do basic.
he lived in a closed down campground that no one has evicted him from.
Ah.
Hell yeah.
So yeah, he's
Honestly,
interesting,
he's
man.
winning.
Oh yeah, he's been living there rent free for like 4 years. And he travels to Florida for the winter. I'm like, that's a pretty good deal, yeah. But anyway, so pulling. I now have 2 knuckles tore apart, and neither of them can go back together easily.
Sure.
So I'm like, okay, what the fuck do I do now? Like, I don't know.
I'm in a bit of a pickle.
I'm like, I'll just leave it all. Like, I'll wait. I'll make sure the parking brake cables are good. And then when I start to reassemble, I'll kind of assess it then. Well,
Turns out they're not good.
no, the cables that I ordered, which I searched for probably 2 hours trying to find these cables. Eventually, I just typed in Subaru Legacy 67-inch parking brake cable.
Because you have to assume that they exist somewhere.
Well, I was searching
Somewhere.
every single type of Legacy cable, and I finally find the part number. It's either the wrong length that's in the description, or from the picture the ends are wrong. I'm like, and then I finally find one write-up that has a bunch of part numbers. They're all Subaru part numbers. They're all gone, and they don't translate easily to anything.
They're discontinued.
So yeah, so I'm like, where do I go?
what do I do
Yeah,
here?
I used every tried to be as specific as possible. Eventually, dumbed it all down. Found it on Google on Summit Racing. They were there. I ordered them Sunday. They were on my door Tuesday morning.
That
Nice.
sucks.
Yeah, I'm like, no, I was like, that's awesome. Like that was fast as shit.
Fast as fuck, boy.
So yeah, that was cool. They shipped directly from Dortmund, which was nice.
Nice.
That's nice.
Um,
Yeah. At
but
least
yeah.
they had them in stock. They weren't like,
Yeah,
oh, we'll
they're a
ship 'em.
very known part number. Like it's very simple. It's just hard to find them when you don't know technically the application you're putting them on now, because it's technically could be like
well,
one of 3 options.
Exactly. And again, it goes back to, why the fuck are my trans cooler lines different lengths? And why the fuck is this?
Yeah.
Because they made such stupid fucking design changes in the middle of fucking production. It's like,
Yeah.
now that I go and I look at the Subaru OEM guides, it's like, oh yeah, no wonder why there's like 12 fucking pages for like one specific
Why there's
section that you're looking at.
several
because
part
there's
numbers
20
and-
different
Because
fucking part numbers.
they explained, hey, this is from this year to this.
Yeah.
Exactly.
But you don't
Well,
know
this
that
month
unless you
to that
know.
month in this model year production, and then the next year we did this
Yeah.
instead.
But if you have this trim, it's this way.
yeah,
and,
you dumb motherfuckers.
Yeah.
Fucking Japanese.
Luckily, I'll say,
fist fucking
eventually,
me.
a simplified Google search, I'm like, fuck it, let's find it.
Find
And
some sort of cable.
Summit Racing was one of the first results. I'm like, okay, this looks like it has the right end. Looks like it has the right end that goes to the actual like lever itself, and it says it's the right length, because I'm also measuring this with a tape measure.
Yeah, you're like,
if it's 3/4 of an inch off and it's not right, I'll never know. Like
Yeah.
I'm just hoping that this is right.
you're like, I can kind of bend it around to get the length to
Well, I
work.
couldn't.
Yeah, you just put an S in it so it's a little bit longer.
Well, I
length.
thought about doing that with the 90-inch one. I'm like, yeah,
Fuck
just
that.
do a loop and it's about 60, like whatever.
It would technically work.
But yeah, I'm like, all right,
Yeah,
we'll
you're
try it.
right.
You could make it work.
So yeah, eventually I'm like these two seem to be it. They're a one number off part number between left side and right side. And
Which-
when I
they're 1
measured them
inch
on the
apart.
floor, I'm also measuring these. The cable is still stuck in the old backing plate,
Ah.
so they're not just on the ground. That like the backing plate's on the
Yeah.
ground. I'm measuring with a tape. I'm like, this is like as close.
We're
as I can get
ballparking
it.
this shit.
One of them seems to be about 3/4, or I think it was 1.5 inches different from the other one. So I'm like, okay,
Close enough.
on Summit Racing, they do say that there's about 1.5 inches difference. I'm like, well, fucking, I hope. I don't
Perfect.
know.
Those are the ones.
Yeah, I'm like, this is the best lead I have by far.
At the very least, you can get them and be like, okay, these aren't right, but now I know what I need.
Yes,
they need
exactly.
to be both 1 inch.
Luckily, they
longer.
look like they should work. I was going to just bolt the backing plate on really quick and get them kind of temporary installed. Be like, okay, yeah, this all works, whatever.
It looks correct.
Well, then I was faced with the dilemma of which knuckle do I use? How do I put the flange back in the fucking knuckle and then get it assembled and onto the car?
Somebody has too many
Fucking
options.
Subarus.
Well, I'd like to use the parts or the not the
The
parts
newer
car,
parts.
the yeah.
Maybe.
Well, because I only have 2 knuckles technically, but
Yeah.
yeah, I'm using the ones with the new bearings,
The ones
that
that
did not come on my car.
Right.
But
Yeah, the donor knuckles.
I don't have anything to press them back in.
Because you don't have an A-frame press yet.
No, but how I took them out, I put a bolt. It came off the Super Duty axle, actually. I put a long bolt through it. I put the nut end on the flange, like where the splines are for the CV shaft.
Okay.
I put the bolt in through the other end
And just
and just
Ugga
beat
dugga them out?
No, I hit it with a hammer.
Just
Oh.
bonked
And just
it.
drove it out like that.
I
Problem
mean-
is, you can't really do that
Yeah,
very
from the
well
inside.
putting it back in. So I'm
Yeah.
like, I just need a big washer for that bolt to
And a
put it
nut
on the other
for it
side
and
and then just suck it together with an impact.
Well, I mean, fuck, we had what was it, like a 24, 28
Oh, to drive,
millimeter socket
to drive yours
to
in there.
hammer them out.
Yeah, you take a 1 inch
Yeah.
drive socket and just beat it to death, getting it out.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that was fun.
Yours were tight.
Yeah. Oh, these are too. Well, and so
They're probably the same.
had to buy a wheel bearing puller with a slide hammer.
Yeah.
Oh yeah,
$110 from Harbor Freight, which I needed anyway, so whatever.
breaks the
But-
slide hammer.
I still have this used to be a blister. Probably about 200 slides with the slide hammer
Oh,
to
I'm
get the
sure.
old ones out.
Because you're moving it by like fucking microns.
Oh, it took probably
to
about
start.
100 to get it to even move.
Oh yeah.
So there is like a trick that works really, really well.
What's that?
Heat the fuck out of it.
No, you take a welder and you just run a bead around the
Oh
bearing.
yeah.
As the weld cools, it'll shrink the bearing. It'll
Yeah.
fall out. So that's a fun little.
You
Dummy.
can't get to it because it's behind the flange.
You can get to one of them at least.
Yeah.
The backside, but it has to be driven out the front.
Well, I guess here's the
I don't know if it'll work on yours or not, but
here.
Yeah, so how mine is, like in the back of the knuckle, there is a lip. So it's the innermost race, bearing, second race.
Okay, so yours is a split race, not a single race.
Yes.
oh, yours is the.
I have
opposite.
4 races and 2 bearings.
Marcus has
Yes.
one race that splits the other way around.
Yes.
Yeah.
His
I
is
have one
backwards,
race that holds 2 V bearings.
but it holds them out, not
Yes. Yeah.
in.
Well, I guess
don't know.
I actually I don't know.
Potato,
Like from the
potato.
looks, it looks like, or there would be at least 3 parts of the races.
Yeah.
So 2 outers and then the one in the middle, essentially.
Because that's how we got my races out. Is we
Just
just
beat
put
the
a
shit out of
fucking
them.
jack in there and
Yeah, we used
Yeah.
the bottle jack out of your car to press them out,
Yeah.
and it actually worked really good.
yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, they're a pain. But in the future,
Fuck that.
on bearings, you can
Yes,
do that.
yes.
Whether you could or not, there, I don't know.
Yeah, no, this case, no, not
Ah,
really.
rip.
No, I'm also not trying to fuck shit up because I might have to use the old
That's the other
knuckles.
problem.
I don't know if I can use the new knuckles still. I am so confused. But trying to see if the cables will work, I was like, let me just throw the fucking backing plates on. I'm like, oh, I have to get the bearings on. Or I have to get the knuckles on. To get the knuckles on, I have to make sure that the CV shaft's ready to go in. And I also have to get the flange put back into the knuckle.
You kind
I'm
of put it all together.
this is
Hey.
way more work than I thought. And I start doing it and this and that. And I'm like, oh my God, Like I was hoping to spend 20 minutes on this just to eyeball it.
Fuck.
I spent an hour and I'm like, I'm still nowhere close. I'm walking. Like I'm just gonna go home.
I'm
Hey
like
Marcus,
further
why
away.
did you put that CV axle back in? We still have an or a wheel bearing to do.
Yeah.
Fuck.
That turned into like 2 days.
Yeah, that was
This
fun.
Oh, I also then dropped a knuckle and then like where the seal sits under the flange was dented. So then I'm like, well, how the fuck do I get this out? I use an air hammer to try to bend it. Didn't work. I eventually get a ball peen hammer and like
Try to just
get it
slowly
kind of
work it
close.
Piss out of
And I'm
it.
like, all right, cool. I use my Milwaukee fucking Dremel and just like with a sanding disc on. I'm like, all right, fucking clean up all the
Slowly,
burrs,
yeah.
fucking get it all like close and it's a wheel bearing on a piece of shit fucking Subaru. I don't really care. It's the seal. It's only the seal that was fucked up. So I'm like, whatever.
Subarus, they're just so easy to work on, and
I should have just.
they're so simple.
I could have avoided
nice.
literally all of this by just bolting the fucking.
Yeah, you could have.
By just hoping the
Well,
bearings were fine and put it on
I
there.
didn't know how bad the long bolt that goes through the bottom. Like my car actually came apart very easily. That long bolt did.
Which is shocking.
The parts car one, that
didn't.
was a Midwest car, and you could tell because it did not want to fucking come out.
Yeah, there's just one long bolt that goes through the lower of the...
It goes through. Yeah, it goes
Yeah,
through
the lower. The lower and
the lower and the sway bar in the
Yes.
rear. So it has two mountings on it.
Sure.
And it also has two spots inside the knuckle that it goes through.
Yeah.
So if it corrodes at all, it's stuck.
Yeah, it can
Also,
corrode in 4 separate spots.
Is your rear end the same amount of bullshit, over-designed, over-engineered complexity?
a
as
little
mine?
bit simpler, but yes.
Just because it's
it's
probably
just-
narrower, they have
there's
to
just
simplify
so
it.
Yeah, it's narrower
much
and like
shit.
where my struts are
Yeah.
way more easily accessible than
Yeah.
yours. Yeah, but
There's just so much shit in the fucking rear end. It's like, why? Why is there all this shit in the way? I
I don't
understand
have
you
to
have
deal
to
with-
have suspension, but fucking
I'll say I don't have to deal with wheel speed sensors and ABS, so it is a little bit less.
That does
but there
I need
is
to
still a
fix
lot of
that.
shit going on back there.
That's
That
going to
helps
be
a
my
lot.
next thing. I need to order fucking
Independent
ABS
rear
sensors.
suspension and sway bar, and yeah, there's a lot of shit going on.
On the bright side, the front side of the car didn't go any better because you had to put your new booster on.
Oh,
yeah, so
yeah.
I bought a mine is a Subaru Legacy Brighton, which is the absolute base model. It's crank window, no
no tack.
locks, no tack,
Like-
stick shift, no cruise
The
control.
fact it has air conditioning is shocking.
Yeah.
Actually, yeah.
That was
that
the
was
only
a
upgrade.
feature.
Yeah, it is a very, very hard-working feature. It works so good. But either way, yeah, it's bare like model. The next better one is an L trim.
Which
the L
has
trim
electricity in it.
has has all the options really. Just lesser. It's still regular plastic on the inside. It's not wood grain.
It's not the limited, which gets it fancy.
Yeah.
Or the
But
LL Bean, which is bougie.
I don't even have it. Legacies don't have
Legacies
it. Only
don't have it.
Outbacks. Yeah.
Oh, cringe.
But yeah, so I'm like, okay, I'm gonna upgrade to an L master cylinder and an L booster because they come standard with disc brakes.
Yeah, in
Which
the rear.
makes a ton of sense.
Yeah. So I'm like, okay, buy them both from O'Reilly's. Got them. Brought them to my place, and I'm like, all right, cool, let's install them. Like, looking at the master cylinder, that's when I'm like, oh, there's not a. I need a third port.
Hole.
Yeah,
But
and
it's
I
cast
don't.
with the third port on it.
Yes, it is.
Yeah.
It has the mark there. It's just not drilled, tapped, and plumbed. For
Yeah.
the fluid to come through. I'm like, fuck. I don't know why this is like this, but okay, whatever. I'll use the one that's on the car still, and this is going to be so much trial and error. Hopefully, these brakes will work in the end. I could not tell you.
They could just drag, or the rears could not work, and there's no way to know until you do all of it,
Yeah.
bleed it, and then drive it.
The rear, you only use like 20% of the rears.
This isn't a bike.
yeah.
It's nice on the car to have rear brakes.
Oh, don't get me
Ask
wrong.
Andy how he
But
already
drum,
knows.
I'll say
It's
master
nice.
cylinders are, especially like drum brakes, are usually like the the percentages front to back are different than disc brake
Yeah.
fronts.
the amount of fluid that a drum takes to work
Oh,
and
yeah.
a disc takes are
Yes.
completely different.
Exactly.
That's why you need to change the master.
Yes.
In this case, you're hosed either way because both of them are wrong now.
Yeah, either that or I have to like you were saying, put like a T off of whichever one needs
Oh, fuck
another
that.
line and this and that. I was like,
put a
I have
T
no
or
idea.
Run
Put a
all
T
new
on the
line.
driver's side.
It's just you don't know.
That will be a hurdle when I get to it. After this weekend, I'll know if I have to do that.
Yeah,
Essentially.
put it together, go find gravel, and just lock the brakes up. See what they do.
Yeah.
If the rear of the car just slides sideways, you know that's wrong.
yeah, yeah, but
Or a key feature.
Yeah.
But so after I'm like, okay, master out of the picture. I'll leave this one hooked up, just bend it out of the way for now, and put the booster in.
for now.
The difference in boosters is about 2.5 extra inches of thickness.
No shit.
About an inch bigger total diameter. and
So
it's in a
she's-
very tight spot right next to the strut tower.
So she's got you beat on girth and length.
yeah,
By a lot.
by a lot. And also, the pinch weld on the Brighton is different than the L apparently
What
because I
the
had to
fuck?
cut the pinch weld out that connects the top of the car and the firewall together to fit this big ass
Fucking love
Exhibit A.
Subarus.
Yeah,
so
Exhibit A.
fucking much.
It's just a
big
huge,
ass the last one was literally about 1.5 inches thick.
You
This
say.
is probably about 4.5.
that line would go right through the back of that.
Yep.
Clear as day.
Yep.
Instead of beaver in there to chew through it. Holy fuck.
Yeah.
Fuck it.
But I made
Put it
sure
on the lathe and
like
mill it down.
it didn't sit flush on the firewall. I'm like, okay, so this is definitely not going to work. I need to cut this out. Ripped it out, cut it. I'm like, all right, it does fit. This is good.
It is flush on there. It's connected.
Yeah,
good.
connected to the brake pedal fine. I couldn't press it or I pressed it before I put the master back on it.
Yeah.
Like, okay, the booster seems to be in better condition than the original one, which I think was bad anyway.
Even with no vacuum, it just feels
Yeah,
better.
like this just feels better already. Like, it works properly. So
Till it's over boosting and just holds the master closed and your brakes right. And you have to take it out again. And
I wouldn't be surprised if I have to fucking redo it.
it's like, oh, it's just in upside down. If they go the other way, they fit fine. And you're like, no, they don't.
Yeah.
They
But everybody,
better
yeah,
not.
but every time I call O'Reilly's, they're like, all right, like what trim? I'm like,
Bright.
I have the part number for a reason. Type it in.
just-
Like,
Well, you need wipers, yeah? Is that a 4-wheel drive or a 2-wheel drive?
Look, it matters, okay?
No, the fuck it does not.
brother,
I have a part
I'm
number.
making it 3-wheel drive. Shut the fuck up and listen to me. Like,
It's a
that's
65,
essentially what I'm doing right now.
Everything's wrong in it, but I'm going to find the right parts eventually that'll make this work.
Yeah, you just have to fucking listen to me for like 3 minutes, dude.
Yeah. That's why Rock Auto's nice, because they don't ask questions. The problem is you have to wait for shipping and hope it's right.
Well, yeah, and like I need another person to bounce it off of because their computer is better than what the online
their online
results
stuff's
give
awful.
you.
Their online tools.
So I'm like, yeah, I'm
dog
asking
shit.
you a question, like a specific question. If you don't answer this question, I don't need what you're about to
Yeah.
say.
Can you
Just
look
don't.
at the picture it gives you and tell me what this looks like? And they're
exactly?
like, what
Yeah.
year? You're like, God damn it. Give me the part. Type the
Yes.
part number into this computer.
Yep, pretty much. Yeah, like the brake lines were kind of like that. I'm like, I
only
just,
O'Reilly's could just adopt the online website of McMaster. Is it McMaster?
McMaster car that pre-caches everything.
Oh, it's so good. Such a good one.
Because it's just simple. It just works.
It's simple and it works. You
Oh
want
no,
to know
actually,
why?
O'Reilly's needs a good app. I'll be honest. Their website
They
is,
have an app.
It
It's
just
dog
sucks.
shit.
No, it's only for professional use.
Oh, so you have to
need
have like a service.
You need a
Yeah.
pro account or whatever.
Ah.
And everyone's like, it's great if you have the account. It's like,
fair.
why can't I use the
Yeah,
account?
you
Why
can-
can't
you
I just
can-
have my own?
You can just lick my fucking
Yeah, no,
balls. How
I
about
would
that?
love a good O'Reilly's app, but I don't see that happening anytime soon.
It'd be
It's like
nice.
the Menards app. It's just fucking
It's
trash.
not. It's perfect.
I love the Menards app.
Marcus hates it for
I
no
wish
reason.
every store
No.
ever had a in-store map.
Oh, so
and
the
a search
in-store
function
map
and
works
everything.
great.
That's what
the
Menards is
search
good at.
function fucks me because
Why? It's fine.
because the way I search things.
Wrongly.
Oh, so
no,
it's you.
It's
no,
you.
it's not me.
You just
I
said
tried
the-
to be broad and then narrow it down from there to see what my search results are.
Oh, no.
Because that's how I Google shit already.
No, you just type in what you want, and
But the problem is
They
I
either-
don't know
they
what
either-
it's called.
They either have it or they don't. Well, yeah.
That's-
Google
that's
it first.
what I problem.
I've done that.
Yeah.
I've been like, hey, Google, what the fuck is this? All right, this
GPT,
thing.
what the fuck do I call this?
Yeah.
Bastards.
Just you're to blame.
Yeah. No, I genuinely, every time I'm in another, like, or like Rural King.
Rural King has the worst website.
Yes, they do.
I
Their
wanna
website
beat
always
the
searches the wrong.
absolute fuck
Calm down.
out of the guy who designed Rural King's fucking website. No, it's
bad.
fucking trash.
To search for
Anything.
packouts, to search for packouts is better than Home Depot's. Home Depot is the most, like, you can't just, like, if I want to search packout, there's like, they give a lot of options in Rural King. It's all very simply put. Home Depot is like, here's all the ones you can order online. I'm like, no, what ones
What do you
are in
have
the
in
store?
store?
Oh, here's a bunch of other random packout shit.
Yeah, that
Like,
we don't have.
I'm like, I need the fucking boxes. The main thing of what this thing does. I don't need the fucking accessories. I don't need the fucking add-ons.
Yeah.
I need the motherfucking box options.
What pisses me
That's
off
it.
about Rural King's website is it's like, oh, okay, I'll type in chicken heat lamp. And my search results will yield me like 521
Because
things.
what they do is they search each word you type
Individually,
individually,
which is
so like,
fucking stupid.
I typed brake fluid right here. You know what's
Yeah.
here? ATF.
Fluid.
ATF,
Hydraulic fluid.
Because the word fluid is in the search.
Is in all of these.
So if you want to get more specific, like, oh, brake fluid, like, let me search quart. I go from 26 results down to 21, I guess. Okay, so eliminated the gallons.
The
but
first 3 are immediately
like
actual brake fluid.
these are brake fluid, but it's like
or 4, I guess.
it's still providing me ATF and like
5 gallon of hydraulic fluid.
because it just searches everything in your search queue. So there's sometimes you get like 300 results that are all wrong. You're like, I need specific.
Oh,
Yeah.
Menards is fine. This sucks.
If you do relevance, can you do it?
It is already sorted by relevance. It'll just price high to low.
That's it. Okay, I didn't know if there was like a better one.
No
option.
You
than
can
that?
like if
Yeah.
you have access to a computer, you can like click brake
yeah
fluid
on the
here.
phone sucks.
Yeah.
yeah,
On the phone you can't do it.
yeah.
But yeah. Anyway,
fucking bad search engines on store websites.
But yeah, I wish Rural King had an app like Menards does. It would be so
yeah,
nice.
Menards app is perfect.
Because
There's
like
no notes.
honestly, I only
Pure
know
cinema.
I know exactly what's in half of Rural King.
Yes.
It's the like
Tractor
balls,
side,
hitches,
yep.
fluids, the tools, and the guns. Where
But
the
the-
guns stop, I know nothing
Yep.
about the rest.
And the
I'm
thing
like,
that sucks
I'm like,
is
I need
like
chapstick. Where the fuck is? I needed an outside thermometer. I'm like, where the fuck are those? I know they're in this store
in
but
the
where
middle
fuck are
by
they?
Home Goods.
Yeah, well, there's 2 options and they both fucking suck.
Because every time you go there, you just have to walk the whole store.
Yes.
And it takes forever.
I usually just
The
do the
thing-
outside loop and then go. And
That's what I do.
Like,
Too. I go to
that's
the outside shelves all the way around.
Yep.
And that's it. I'm like, that's all I can
The
see.
thing that sucks about Roking's, at least our Roking's layout, is it's like, oh, okay, well, I'm here in automotive, but I need hose clamps for this.
they're in hydraulics.
They're all the way over in hydraulics.
Yeah, but that's where you put. That's where hoses
but
are.
like,
But there's also more
there's-
hardware over by the bolts and such, which is
Yeah,
like,
like,
there's fasteners
they're-
and stuff over
like,
there.
the
They need to
bolts-
condense some things because over in bolts, if you go further to the right, you're in like home hardware.
Yeah,
so
you
like
go from,
house
like-
filters.
you go from bolts to like rope to wiring. You're like, this
Yeah.
one is a little weird.
Yeah, when they could move the.
Hey, you worked there. You tell them how to fix it.
Fuck, I don't want to talk about it. You know, it's sad. Every time I go in there and I give them my phone number, they're like, "Oh, what department do you work in?" I was like, "I haven't worked here in like 10 years."
And they're like, oh, you still get the discount. Here you go.
Yeah, I still do get the discount. So
They probably think you still work there. You never officially quit.
well,
but
the guy who never leaves me the fuck alone in that goddamn Rural
he's
King.
just your buddy. He just wants to be your
He
friend.
pisses. I talked about fishing with him for like 5 minutes one time.
You were on a kick for fishing like for
like-
a month.
for, like, 2
Come
weeks.
on, brother.
Oh,
every
I'm
day.
waiting to start again because
That was the best time.
A family friend has a boat that they're just about to bring out, and I was like,
Don't
"Fuck,
you
we're
have a
going
boat that you
fishing."
won't fix?
I do have a boat, but it needs to get fixed.
Fix it. You have a driveway.
That's a lot of money.
Driveway mechanic.
I've tried to bring it over.
Your driveway, not my
exactly.
house.
That's the point.
Not my house.
My house.
You got a basement. It flows water down those stairs. Throw it down.
I did that once. Fuck you.
It did it. Anyway.
That door got replaced.
Anyway, whatever you were yapping about. Do you remember?
Boats, fishing. The fucking dude at Rural King who never leaves me the
Yeah.
fuck alone.
Yeah, all the above.
Yeah.
He probably listens to this. He's
Anyway, yeah, Rural
I
King.
fucking
Yeah, Rural King
hope
just
not.
sucks.
cyber stalking you.
Rural
think I
King
was a-
does fucking suck because
I
every
love
time
I love it, but I
like
wish
their
there was
bolt
something.
selection, but other than that, they can go fuck themselves
The
because every
layout.
time I fucking go in there
fine.
for the chicken feed that I want, they never fucking have it.
Just order it.
Order it.
That's what we started doing. Fuck, what the hell is it called? Not that car pickup, whatever
Yeah,
the fuck.
delivered
At,
to car,
DoorDash.
yeah.
no, not
I know,
DoorDash.
Yeah.
but yeah,
Car
deliver to-
pickup
deliver to
at,
store and
in
pickup,
fucking Farm and Fleet in Ottawa
Yeah.
Okay.
because they will always make sure that I have what I want.
Well,
in
that
stock.
sounds awfully convenient.
Yeah, it's pretty nice.
Yeah. Very
yeah.
cool.
Well, you want to go into my shit because I did some shit this weekend.
Yeah.
Yeah, we can go.
I'm trying to think.
okay.
I
was
also
thinking
drove.
Andy had
I
anything
I also drove the Jeep.
You sure did.
Oh yeah, you did.
Yeah, so I took that. That's what made me think of it. Yes, I drove it home or back to my parents' house Friday night.
Because the car was apart.
Car was apart, and I'm like, I want to drive. I want to get some miles on the Jeep.
Because the truck's at your parents' house, isn't it?
No, that was
Or was
still
it- or
out
was it out
at the
there?
new place.
Okay.
But I'm like, I just want to drive the Jeep. Like, fuck it, let's
Put some
let's do
miles on it,
Yeah.
wear it in. Yeah.
Yeah, get some fluids, especially flush through that rear end.
Yeah.
'cause
Get the fluids
that
warm.
Yeah. Yeah. Drove it back to my parents' house.
Foreshadowing.
Went back out Saturday. Finished up with the Jeep. Got very confused. I'm like, whatever. I'm gonna go drive it to the parts store. Got to do some errands, whatever. It's
Calls me
gonna
on
be
the way. He's like, "You want to go get dinner?" I'm like, "I'm just 8." You're like, "You son of a
no,
bitch."
that was after the catastrophe.
that would have been Sunday actually.
It was Sunday,
That
actually.
was
Yeah.
okay. Never mind. Continue.
But yeah, I'm like, oh, like Saturday night. I'm like, oh yeah, I'm gonna go drive to the parts store, get my shit, whatever, for the Subaru that I needed. On the way, this is gonna be a 30-minute drive. Made it back to my parents' house to drop Blue off and some other shit, and I'm like, why is there a puddle in my parents' driveway?
Why?
It was 2 drips, but I'm like, oh,
There's
why is that
fluids.
leaking?
A puddle's a puddle.
On something that has brand new seals? You're like, huh.
Yeah, I'm like, and I'm like, it's wet under here. Something's been leaking.
everything.
And I kind of look under more. I'm like, oh, this is like you can tell, like something was flinging oil, aka the pinion, and then it was getting hit by wind and getting thrown backwards on
Spraying.
the whole back of it. Like underneath the Jeep is moist
Soaked.
with gear oil.
Bit
Like,
damp.
I think I just overfilled this, but it seems like I should do something
If it's
about
leaking
this. I don't
oil,
think I
it
should go
has
do
oil.
an hour worth of driving
it-
with about 40 miles.
It leaked all the oil because the diff was hot to the touch.
Oh yeah, that's right.
Yeah. Well, no. I drained the oil.
Yeah.
Like it only leaked a little bit, but I drove
Oh, okay.
back to the new place, drained the oil then, and as I was draining, I'm like, wow, this shit is like hot to the touch.
Yeah.
Uncomfortable to the touch.
Yeah. It should be warm. It should not be that hot.
Yeah. I'm like, ooh, this is something might be a little
Yeah.
toasty.
Your
in here.
giant 1-ton housing that has a ton of heat dissipation fins.
Yeah, and like nothing even close to touching it underneath the Jeep because it's on a fucking 4-inch
And
lift in the back.
zero load
Bowdies.
compared to what it's built for.
Correct.
It's built to tow 20,000 pounds, and you're like,
Yeah.
my Jeep weighs like 4.5, maybe 5.
Yeah. So I'm like, I don't know what this is about. So I'm like, let's just drain the oil now, get all, and since the oil is nice and hot, I'll get all this fucking shiny shit out and flushed. So it's currently sitting over there with the plug back in it, but definitely needs more fluid. Or new
Plenty
fluid
of shiny shit in there.
It's getting better, like
Yeah.
noticeably better.
Okay, maybe
I think
it's finally.
what I need to do is get it hot again and then drain it again because like that'll probably it'll be hot, it'll flow easier.
Yeah.
You know,
Just throw the turbojet under there.
smoke the rear tires up.
I just need to drive it more, honestly.
Yeah, well,
While
Should-
all the
should-
bearings are too hot, like too tight and tensioned, it gets hot plenty fast. I'm sure.
Yeah.
It's just a
So it won't take
it's a
long.
self-clearancing rear end.
it's good that it
fine.
has license and insurance on it.
Oh, I will be getting extended antique plates very soon too, because it's needed a sticker since fall of 2023.
You know, believe it or not, you're on court supervision.
Yeah.
You understand that could cause you a lot of issues,
Oh,
right?
fair. Yeah.
Like a lot
well,
of them.
I am getting paid tomorrow, so I'm planning. I would like. Oh, they're not open Saturday.
They're not open Saturdays anymore.
I can maybe make it to the Ottawa DMV.
Are they open on Saturdays?
Oh, there's one in Pontiac actually. No, Friday after work.
Oh, okay.
At 3:30, I have an
Yeah.
hour and a half. Yeah, I should just
Fair.
go to fucking Pontiac.
But yeah,
That's where I got my truck sticker from, actually. But
awfully
yeah,
convenient.
But
But yeah, I would be cautious.
fair.
That's not the
Fair.
greatest
Take
move.
the back roads.
It's licensed. It's fine.
Is it insured?
Or it's registered. Yeah, sorry, it's insured. It has a plate on it.
It's just expired.
And actually, my license plate frame covers up the fucking sticker, so you can't even tell.
Oh, yeah.
It's fine. Yeah.
I thought it was uninsured, unlicensed.
no,
I'm like,
it is insured. It has never not been insured.
Oh, okay.
But it is not. It has
like-
a plate on it. It's just the stickers from 2020.
say that would have developed a problem rather
Yes.
quick.
No, I'm not that bad about shit.
Well,
and it's I've
And now that they corrected your speed trap, how
Yeah.
how
Oh yeah.
mad are you
Can,
right
can
now?
we talk about that
I
for a
said,
minute?
did we talk about that?
We haven't
last week?
talked
Yeah.
about that,
Okay.
no.
So yeah. So
'Cause
my big. I was about to get arrested. You know, the fucking
Twice.
The town
Should have got arrested
should have got arrested maybe
twice. Gonna fight the court and win.
Yeah. So it's they've corrected the speed zone on the one side of town. It was the side of town that I did get my ticket on.
You got caught on
They
twice.
put the sign back where
They
it was.
put the sign back to where it was.
exactly where it was.
Exactly where it was. I think they kept one of the post stuff and did a new 40-mile-an-hour
Yes.
ahead.
Maybe that's
Yes.
But that's
they
it.
they put a new warning.
They
sign.
put everything else back. So I'm assuming what happened is it's small town bullshit. Somebody
got pissed.
somebody important got pulled over. He raised hell at the courthouse or to his fucking mayor buddy, whatever.
He did what you wanted to do.
Yeah, raised a little hell, and I'm glad somebody did because it was stupid.
It was stupid.
It was like a mile outside of town.
Yeah,
it was
it
ignorant.
was it was fucking
The other
stupid.
way they could change that back too, because that's really annoying. But
Yes, it's more
better.
understandable, and it's like you have a lot of time to
at
slow
least
down.
you're not slowing down coming out of town. You're speeding up out of town.
Yes,
So it's like it's not as bad. It's just annoying. annoying.
Yes,
Especially when
but
it's been different. But
at least the side that is like my vendetta is fixed.
they did
so.
correct it. So you got a $600 some.
I'm paying
ticket,
my last it's $150 even. I owe. I'm paying it tomorrow.
and then
so.
they just corrected it 2 months later.
Fuck,
Yeah.
I would.
Which my mom talked to one of the like lawyers from town, and he's like they just bullshit at the bar, and he's like you absolutely could fight that and probably get your money back. I'm like
Thanks.
I was like I would press it if I didn't get pulled over the day I paid it.
Doing it again.
Yeah.
So like ideally if I would have got a ticket like in my head I got pulled over twice, $650 across 2 tickets, way more reasonable.
What I really don't want to do is cause an issue and then get charged for the second ticket somehow.
Yeah, I was like, I didn't get it. I say it was a verbal warning. It wasn't even a written warning. So I'm like, okay, like,
Yeah, but
well, it's fine.
Then
Like,
you boot it.
you didn't lose your license. Take what you can get and
yeah,
cut
I
your
think
losses.
I'll just, yeah. I'm like, it's, again, I owe $150 on it. It's going to be gone tomorrow. And I have another
just
5 months of court supervision. It'll be fine.
Just a little oopsie.
Yeah.
When I get them, if I get the
Lucky
Mustang
the Cobra won't
fixed,
be finished in the next 5 months.
it might be. Well, depending on how soon I'm able to move in.
Yeah.
But
Anyway,
ideally, once I am moved in, that fucker's getting up on jack stands and it will be fixed when it's down.
that is the project.
or at least the throwout bearing to where it's drivable again.
Sure.
So,
All right, Marcus, you're up. Did you get pulled over?
No.
Damn it.
Thank God.
son of a.
So
What did you do?
Well, let's start
Thursday.
last Thursday.
Yeah.
After podcast.
But before and after.
Well,
but
before
yes.
and after. Before, if you didn't listen towards the end, which
I don't blame
I
you.
don't think anybody listens really to the end.
Jeremy does.
Jeremy,
Yeah,
attaboy.
clearly he does. We were talking about
the
him.
one and only.
Brother. Fuck him, man.
Calm down.
We were finishing up the wiring for my
Your coolant temperature
coolant
gauge.
temp gauge because
Yes.
I finished the 3D printing, finished painting, and ordered an entire new gauge because me being a dumbass and being impatient
Ripped the wire. in
ripped
half.
the fucking wiring apart from the plug. So
But on the
ta-da!
bright side,
Mounted and painted, and it honestly looks semi decent.
it actually fits pretty good
Yeah,
there.
I was honestly pretty proud of my half-assed.
You can't tell that it's got self-tappers through the A-pillar.
Yeah, that's
and
fine.
They're
They
hidden.
were small
They're hidden,
self-tappers.
but it is in fact just screwed through it,
And I technically have room to add more gauges if I'd like.
which you don't.
I
Is the pillar the same shape the whole way up, or does it change? I bet it changes.
It's changed.
I know at the top it changes.
It's different towards the top and just towards the bottom a little
but if you're
bit.
doing like 2 or 3, you could probably get away
Oh
with it.
yeah, I could get away with it.
Cool. So now you need
But,
a boost gauge.
Can't boost that engine; it'll implode.
You can boost any engine. You just have to be brave.
We
You're
already
not-
fixed
you're
this
not-
one.
You're not that brave, are you?
I
Damn it.
if anything, I would do like oil pressure.
Fucking, you'll just be staring at it the whole time.
Wow.
Anyway.
But yeah, so put that in, and then turns out that I left my lights on a little too long.
Oh yeah.
If you want to go to the second picture,
Yeah. So the whole time we're doing this, you're fucking with lights and putting the new speakers in the car. And
yeah, we
whatever
did new
else.
speakers too. Thank you, Andy. They sound a shitload better.
Hell yeah.
They
I'm
don't.
glad.
They don't rattle.
You go to start the car to leave, and it's just
It
and
clicks.
turns off. So I'm like,
Fuck.
oh, it's pulled into the bay. I don't have any jumper packs or battery chargers here. I'm like, I have jumper cables. I'm like,
We could technically
I'm
take
like-
the forklift and drive it backwards up the ramp.
and get it close to the car. But I'm like, my Fiesta's in the side garage. I could hook my jumper cables to that battery, hook your jumper cables to my jumper cables, and
Yeah.
be close. I'm like, fuck, I don't know. And then I'm like, wait a minute. I'm like, I've seen this done. This is easy.
Milwaukee battery.
So what you do is you take your 20-volt Milwaukee battery,
Correct.
and you got the one picture of my legs blocking it.
Yeah, whatever.
And there's a battery here, theoretically.
With
Yeah.
2 pieces of fucking, what,
Steel.
16-inch steel?
16 gauge steel just
Yeah.
stuffed into the terminals. And you just clip the battery leads to it, fire the car. Started right up perfectly.
Started right up. Didn't even hiccup. It was... Rum.
It was flawless.
Started right up.
Then the battery was at 1 bar and flashing after coming off the charger full, and I might have heard it a little bit, but it's
It's fine. Just let it sit on the shelf and fully drain, then put it back on the charger.
It's seen better days.
It just...
I said, you use a bad one, I hope? Or
no, it was a
older
high
one.
output 8 amp hour like
Ooh.
nice new battery. It worked great.
Fuck.
It still
just-
works. It just I don't know. We'll
It's
see.
just a
We'll
little
see how it
angry.
holds up after a while. I think you need to drain it and cycle it a couple
Yeah.
times, get it
Yep.
happy.
I had to do that with my 60-volt max DeWalt's for the longest time. Like they wouldn't take on the charger because they'd fully, they'd drain.
If they get below a certain threshold,
they drain past
won't
that,
charge,
and
yeah.
so I would take it to work when I was still at the radio station and plug it into my bench power supply to jump start it, and then I'd plug it into the charger. Like, yeah, you're fine.
You're giving it the fucking of life.
Yeah,
You're zapping
basically.
it to bring it back.
But so that was.
And then you backed out of the garage, and there was a bunch of transmission fluid on the ground.
Oh yeah. So on my way home, you texted me and was like, "Hey, did you add fluids while you were in here?" I was like, "No, but like by the look of it, it just looks like water dripping." Like,
Because I just sent him a picture. I'm like, did you add some fluids? And I sent him the picture. He's like, no, it looks like water. And I'm like,
yeah, it looks like water. It's probably just like condensation off, like the body. Like
Yeah,
it went from cool, cold air to
yeah,
warm,
the road's wet or
temp.
whatever.
Mind you, I'm driving while I'm looking at this.
Of course.
And
all over. Too.
and then I looked at it a little closer and I was like, huh,
Like the car's pulled in this way. The transpan would be about this shape.
that's
Yeah.
definitely red.
And you look at it closer and you're like, that's got some
That's
hue to it.
transmission fluid.
Like there's definitely red.
Nice
in
and
this.
new and red.
Yeah,
So,
brand new
yeah,
fluid.
I'm leaking trans fluid.
From some
The
multiple,
pan.
probably the entire pan,
The
realistically.
pan.
Like
I think I fucked up putting that cork
cork gasket.
gasket in there, or we're just gonna fucking RTV it.
Pretty much. I think cork gaskets are a scam. Don't use them.
Yeah.
RTV's free. You can just
Say
use them
my
on everything.
nice metal line or metal and then rubber lined oil pan gas on the Jeep doesn't leak.
See?
I made sure of it. I'm like, oh yeah, looks good down there.
Yeah. But yeah, the
Gotta
car,
fix that eventually.
The car is leaking a lot of trans fluid.
It's still not happy about
Sick.
shifting, so yeah.
It's probably because it's leaking all the pressurized fluid out.
I think what's honestly happening is not only is it leaking, but it's slowly sucking air in and cavitating the pump.
well, as the fluid cools, it'll pull pressure
Yes.
into the system.
So
if it's pulling air, it's pulling air.
It's not the happiest.
Subaru. Hell yeah. Okay, so
Take it away, Elton John.
So what else did you do here?
So
You have a whole
went
bunch of
to
stuff.
just go to the next picture.
'Kay.
This was at Uranus Fudge Factory, which, by the way, if you ever go there, the minute you walk into like the main shop, they go, "Hi, welcome to Uranus." Every single fucking worker screams that.
Yeah.
That's pretty cool.
So they had a bunch of like funny T-shirts there, and then we got some fudge, and of course one of the workers is like, "Oh, I'm a professional fudge packer. Would you like me to pack your fudge?"
and you being a fucking goofy guy, you're probably dying at this.
Oh yeah, I was keeled over.
You love
fucking
shitty
laughing.
little puns like
I was like,
that.
haha, funny. The fudge was pretty fucking good though.
Did you bring me any?
No, I have. It's sitting at home. I forgot the fudge and the shot glasses. But
Keep the shot glasses.
yeah. So some of the funny T-shirts that I had of the first one, I work harder than ugly stripper. A fucking
Classic.
man. Andy for sure. I almost bought that shirt for you.
It's a classic.
He's just sucking 700 dicks to
One
pay
time.
his mortgage.
The mortgage got paid. My credit's still fine.
Do
Abracadabra.
you want me to zoom in?
Yeah.
Your old man eyes aren't working.
Yeah.
Nope, you're
Abracadabra.
still ugly.
Nope, you're still ugly.
Classy.
Morningwood Lumber Co.
I would have
That's-
liked this T-shirt.
that
I'll be
one's- that
honest.
one's
I
pretty
like
good.
that a lot.
See, here's the funny thing. I was thinking about getting the first shirt and
think
this one, but I'm like, oh, the tree's too big.
Oh, boo.
Boo.
A little white paint and shrivel it down a little bit.
Yeah.
Looks like the fucking Charlie Brown tree.
Yeah, sad and depressed.
It would be actually funnier if it had that.
It would be-
Yeah.
honestly.
It's got a little curve in the base.
Yeah, right.
Yep.
God didn't make them all straight.
Nothing's wrong with a little curve.
So that was your T-shirt tours.
Yeah, it was the T-shirt tour, and
Hell
then if you want to go to the next one,
So the next one, this would all be.
this
as
was
of
last
yesterday.
night.
Oh
Yeah.
So well, I guess do we want to talk about Michael's
We'll start.
issue?
Just do your thing first.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, figured it was about time to get the donorship box out of your parents' place.
As I'm sure everybody appreciates.
Yeah. I mean, like
It was out of the way. but
It was out of the way, and like it wasn't bothering anybody. But like, it doesn't need to sit there.
Now that we have everything out of it and your car runs,
Yeah,
it
like,
can, it can go.
don't get me wrong. There's still parts I could take off of it, but like,
Not like we're
Are you
scrapping
gonna?
it.
Are you gonna keep it around, or are you gonna try to scrap it soon?
Gonna keep it around.
I'm gonna keep it around for probably like this summer
Yeah.
to slowly pull parts
Till the end of
off,
Rallycross.
and then I'm gonna be done with it.
Yeah, scrap it before it snows.
Well, I'll say
Yeah.
before you're done with part it out for 2 months before you scrap it. Like,
Yeah.
or put it on
Take-
Facebook. Say, hey,
Yeah.
whoever wants anything to recoup any amount of money.
Yeah.
Yeah,
If you
take-
make $50
Well,
off of it, it's worth
like
it.
I'm gonna take the
No, I know you're gonna get your
power
money. Yeah.
steering pump, the
That
AC
was-
condenser.
But if somebody needs like the back seat and they'll give you $50 for it.
yeah,
like, perfect.
like
Here you go.
the
you know.
interior, I think the only thing I'm gonna save is I want to save the. I want to take the seat belts out of it because
Take the
mine.
seat for your sim setup.
Yes.
Gonna take the seat for the sim setup. I want to take the A, B, and C pillar plastics
Covers, yeah.
Just some little shit. The dash is already
Take your
fucking all
HVAC control
gone.
unit.
Already did
Already
because
stole
I
it.
just
Yeah.
Put LEDs
I
in
put
there.
LEDs.
I had somebody
all in
ask
that.
about. I have a spare, and somebody was like
I
wanting one in the
I
second
have
gen.
my
group.
old one.
Well, I don't know
This
if
was-
yours will work, but I think I have
Actually,
a spare.
no, I don't have my old one because
I was like,
got
ooh, I'll make $50
pissed
off
at it
that.
and I ripped the fucking cable out, so it's a little broken.
Way to
That's
go.
okay. You could
Well,
put a
ain't-
zip tie in there and
He
be
ain't
fine.
gonna. He ain't don't care.
But either way, yeah.
But,
Just part it out before you scrap it. Fully.
Yeah, definitely, because I'm not buying another fucking shit box to do this.
You mean another Subaru?
Yeah. Yeah. So, got the donor shit box out of your parents' house. We took it back to my mom's.
Do you just flat toe it over there?
No, we put it on my trailer. We just pushed it up there with the loader.
Perfect.
Yeah,
It's
the,
pretty
the
simple.
Trader.
Scratch the rear bumper.
Oh,
Scratch the
we
fuck out
did
of
a
it.
lot more than just scratch the rear
Oh, you did a
bumper.
Washington trip to the Hyundai?
It didn't really like to roll anymore.
Yeah.
So we
So,
kind of
yeah.
had to push it.
So
Fair,
all three
yeah.
of us got in between the Blue Ranger and the bumper of this, and Brian and Michael were pushing forward, and I got in there to squat the fucking
Yeah.
thing.
Didn't
With the
move.
tires full that we just filled, did
Yeah.
not fucking move. We had to hook it up to Michael's truck, and he
Yeah.
had to put power down to get it to move.
It was
because
in a
it
hole.
sunk.
Because it had rained. And got,
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Rain,
it was
snowed.
frozen when we put it there. Yeah.
It
Yeah.
sunk into the ground. Yeah.
Yeah.
So got it back to my mom's, lifted it up, put it on shitty cinder blocks, and pulled the tires off so I can start getting the rims cleaned up and the tires off for
Put your-
rally
You
tires.
finally get to use your roof rack.
Back
Yep,
spare.
my roof rack, and I think this is the first
Brother,
legit.
I had 3 40-inch tires in my car. You
I
can
know.
fit the all 4 of them.
But
fuckers
he also
inside.
has 3 tires
Oh,
inside of
fair.
his
That
car.
is
Yeah.
fair. All right.
I have 3 tires in the back seat with the seats
And
folded
it's-
down, and
yeah.
4 tires and wheels
It's
on,
hard
the, on the
roof.
top.
Hard to tell, but this one's a little porcupine.
that
It's-
one
it's
was-
got
Trust me, my finger
fucked.
remembers.
Yeah, it's got some belts on it.
Yeah, if you want to scroll through the pictures, because I
Can do.
took pictures.
Car.
It's up on blocks now, which if you zoom in,
Say, did the back fall? This didn't seem like where it was.
Zoom in to the front.
Oh, the fronts aren't even touching anymore. It definitely fell.
It sunk. It sunk in the ground because I got there and I was like, oh, it's doing.
Yeah,
because
because the front doesn't weigh anything now.
Yeah.
It's all the middle.
all the weights in
Well,
the
it didn't sit on the
ass
rotor anyway. The ball joint at the bottom
Oh,
knuckle.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. It's
The
just
bolts of that.
barely lower. Yeah.
It's so the rotors will spin without
Yes.
touching.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
it's doing a wheelie.
But yeah.
yeah.
What a nice picture.
I know, right? I was like, man, this is
Golden
gonna look
hour.
good as fuck.
It does.
You can go through because I have more. And the
Yeah.
porta shitter in the background. Oh, so as we were pulling the rear tires off, turns out, if you want to zoom in a little bit or go to the next picture, the
shocks are
rear
new.
It's got like-
has newer shocks.
Considering Marcus was just considering buying new shocks for his rear.
Look at that.
Yeah.
I would have put these ones on anyway, even if
Yeah.
they were 2% better. I'd be like,
They
yeah,
look
fuck it.
so much better.
They do look better.
there is
They look
minimal
good.
rust to them because I pulled
Yeah.
it off and I'm like,
Oh, you did get them off already?
there's
No, just the
not
wheel.
the
Oh,
wheel. When I
okay.
pulled the wheel off, I was like, what the fuck? There's paint on this still.
Yeah.
yeah, I'm like, these look kind
I'm
of
like,
good.
wow,
Yeah.
these look new.
How many miles did this car have? 150?
Like 160
Yeah.
some
Yeah,
odd.
so they probably got replaced at like 150.
Well, yeah, or 120 or
some
something.
yeah.
some random number.
So gotta pull these off at some point.
Sick.
Oh, here's more blockage.
Yeah.
Not touching.
It's up and
Yeah,
down.
that was touching right there.
yeah,
that
you
lower
could,
ball joint.
you could see where the rust dug into it.
Yeah.
This, however,
It's fine.
because I'm like, if you're gonna
It's
set
fine.
it down so the rear suspension's hanging, so you can pull these shocks off without fighting it.
True.
And
I mean,
this
you'll
is
have
what
to
he-
jack it up a little bit now because it's
This
going to
is-
continue to sink and
yeah.
the rears will be sitting, but you can
This
get
is-
it up pretty easy.
It'll be.
It's
fine.
teetering. It's fine.
It
Yeah.
teeters a little.
Yeah.
Oh, broken sway bar link.
Yep.
Junk Subaru.
Junk. Piece of shit.
Correct.
So,
the
yeah.
tarp made it. I
The
was
tarp
shocked.
made it because I fucking gorilla taped the shit out
I
of it.
know, but
You're
I'm
like,
still.
oh, the
It's
tarp's
still
gonna
very
come off.
thin fucking
Yeah, I'm
plastic.
surprised
It's
it didn't get.
7 mil times 2.
Fucking freedom units. I don't give a fuck.
Yeah.
Freedom
You
units.
want to go
are
to the next
blessed. I don't know
picture?
what
We'll
that
see
means.
the damage from Michael pushing this fucking thing
Wow,
out.
wow.
Oh no.
I didn't care, but my more main concern, I was like, fuck, is Michael gonna like snap the fucking rear end in this thing? Because all I heard as we were pushing it up on a trailer was and then snapping, and I'm like, it's either plastic, which I don't give a shit about, because the taillights in that center section, because that center section is one piece, but it has the integrated lights in it.
Yeah.
They have fucking holes drilled in them. They're all shattered on the inside, and like they're just
This picture's
shitty.
a little deceiving. The
Yeah.
loader bucket was underneath the rear end.
Yeah.
And that's the top of the bucket had rolled up and touched this. He wasn't pushing up here.
No.
Yeah.
So it's a little deceiving on where it was actually at, but
Yeah.
it did cracked it a bit.
Yeah. Who
Meh,
gives a
oh
shit?
well.
Wheels.
But yeah, so texted my dad at like lunch. I was like, "Hey, you think we could sneak over to the local auto shop and use their tire machine? Because you told me that I could totally do that and get away with it."
What
Toddy's.
auto shop?
In Granville.
Oh yeah.
Which shout out to them, guys. Cool as fuck. Let me use this tire machine and only charge me $12.
We should all invest in a fucking tire machine.
No shit.
Oh.
I literally made the joke as we were taking this off because my dad's like, "Oh, do you want these tires?" I'm like, "Fuck no, fucking throw them away." He's like, "Well, he's probably gonna charge you." I'm like, "How much are they?" He's like $4 or $3 a piece.
Yeah.
I'm like, "Oh, fucking holy shit!"
Yeah, take
fucking
'em,
bend me
please.
over.
It was super convenient when you worked at Jack's, Brian.
I know.
Like having the tire machine.
Oh
at
fuck!
your
I
disposal.
remember
miss it.
taking the
The
Blazer
fact that
over
Obermiller
there.
doesn't have one is kind of surprising too. Actually,
Yeah.
He doesn't like doing things like that.
fair. That is true. He
fair.
loves having an excuse to go to town for the day to go eat lunch.
Yeah, he
and
doesn't
then pick shit up.
Doesn't change his own oil. Doesn't do nothing. Just lets
Yeah.
everyone else do it, which is fine.
Yeah, absolutely.
But yeah, no, he just doesn't care.
Yeah,
he does
so,
because most of his tires are like low pro 20s
Yeah.
or 22s. So it's
fair.
like you don't want to do those anyway.
Yeah.
These tires, these are so easy.
Oh, yeah.
I could do these in 15 minutes, all four of them. They're so nice.
But so the plan was
I should buy a tire machine.
That's what we
should.
just.
I could hear you.
Yeah.
We should.
If we all give like $150, it's a decent
well,
fucking tire.
Okay, but not my house.
I'm a house.
Gotta go at your house.
Oh yeah, I
Fuck that.
figured.
Oh,
You're like, all right, cool. You're like, cool.
Yeah,
Put,
cool.
put on your service trailer.
Wait, no, I need a separate trailer. They're kind of big.
No,
not that big.
It's a 4 foot by 4 foot trailer right now.
So you
bro.
can
Side.
take the fucking
That thing's already going to be
the
way
spoon
down.
handle arm off.
We'll put it on its own trailer or a pallet or something, and
A
just
tire
bring
service
it in
trailer.
fucking,
Dude,
yeah.
that can fucking
Can go on the
tits.
bed of your truck.
Or we just
No,
put it on a
we just-
pallet and
we
I
just don't do that.
Bring it
Yeah.
around.
But
Anyway, keep yapping.
so my dad swung by the tire shop. I went right after work, and we popped all tires off. Which surprisingly, they all came off nice,
I was gonna say, they're-
except the one that was fucking rubbed raw on the wall.
That's just 'cause no one wanted to touch it.
No, it was because it didn't have enough strength and body in that side now. So every time we went to go pop the bead off, it would just roll.
Oh yeah, they do that
So
sometimes.
it was funny too because my dad was standing there, took the cap off the valve stem, took the valve stem out. I'm like, take your knife out and fucking stab them. They're fucking worthless.
Yeah, these things are
like
junk.
there's
you don't have
three.
to treat it with respect.
There's 3 different brands of tires here, and one of them is fucking bad. I don't give a shit what happens to them.
Yeah, like you're gonna throw them away immediately, so it doesn't matter.
Cut them into pieces. I don't give a shit. I'm here for the tire machine, so I don't have to spend
that-
2 hours to pull the bead off.
That was your original plan. It's like, oh, let's bring them over to your house. We can just cut them off. I'm like,
Not my house.
I'm like, that sucks. I'm like, have you ever cut a tire
oh
off?
yeah,
It-
it fucking sucks.
it sounds like, oh, you just cut it in half and roll. No, it's miserable.
No, you got to break the bead off and then put a spoon in there to pull it
to
out
get it
from
away
the rim.
enough so you don't fuck up the rim.
So
yeah.
I was Googling that while I was driving today for work, and it was the quickest way to remove a tire from a rim, and it was like guys taking a Sawzall, like cutting a semicircle into the tire, peeling it back, and then taking an angle grinder just into the rim, and I'm like, but I want to save the rims.
Yeah.
Like I want the rims. I just don't give a fuck about the tires.
It's all the guys that are scrapping these wheels.
scrapping wheels, and I'm like, fuck.
Hey, you said fastest. You said you not
Yeah.
didn't say fastest and save.
You
the
did not
rim.
say bestest.
Yeah.
So yeah, got the tires off, and they're here now. We threw them in the
Steel shot blaster.
steel shot blast machine.
Yeah, they have like 10 minutes on them, and they're actually coming
yeah,
out pretty
they're
nice.
all that shitty ass clear coat's coming off.
So
and,
what are you? What color are you doing? Or just,
bronze?
Oh yeah,
I'm probably gonna go with a dark bronze like you have.
mine are gold.
His are gold.
Oh,
his are
wow.
his are black with a gold like overcoat.
Yeah.
Potato.
Yeah.
They're gonna be rally color.
Pink?
Fuck no, it's gay as
Pink?
shit.
So is the Car's
Should you not
fucking
just
burgundy.
do tan to match your fucking two-tone? I don't know how that's gonna look. Any color, like anywhere from fucking gold to brown,
It doesn't. It
with
doesn't.
with a tan two-tone. I don't know.
It doesn't matter. They're rally tires. They're only.
No,
gonna
I
go
know,
during
but what I'm just
rally.
saying,
We're
like
talking
it's a
if you're-
weird accent, I guess.
Yeah, if you're gonna
Or
paint
it's hard
it,
to
it
do
might as well
with
look
an
good.
accent. Yeah.
Then what color do you think I should paint them?
I think the car should be all red.
I think we should paint the
Like
whole car.
the car should be one whole color, and then
I've said if I'm okay to paint this, I would be
I wanna
okay
paint
so,
mine
painting
much,
this.
so much work.
It's a lot of fucking
Andy's
work.
car's so
though.
much easier. It doesn't have a little trim on the
yeah,
side.
Yeah.
literally.
Your car's half plastic.
It is.
Literally.
Is there a side picture of your car in here?
No, but
Well,
there's-
it's the same.
well,
It's-
yeah,
looks,
it's like
looks,
that.
but
Yeah,
all
the bottom
this
part of
shit,
the
the
door,
bottom,
miserable.
all this is gonna paint
champagne
awful.
tan is
Mine's already
fucking
almost
plastic.
a primer.
So what Andy was saying is you should just paint it this color.
no,
right?
no, paint his whole car red.
No, yeah, but his
But
wheels.
yeah.
If he's gonna paint his wheels,
Oh yeah,
tan,
match it,
match
yeah.
them to this color.
I think that anywhere
I don't know
from
how close I
gold
could
to
get
brown is going to be too close to that. It's going to look weird in my head.
I don't
at least.
know.
I know.
Yeah.
bronze is the fucking best color ever. But
like if
on
you-
a two-tone,
Do you
want to
want to? Do you want to pull up like the Sparko
Not
5x100 like rally wheels?
the
like
proper
that?
gold ones.
They're bronze, but yeah, they're like shiny bronze.
Yeah.
They're gonna get
but
fucking rattle
You never
canned.
see them on a legitimate two-tone car.
No,
They're always one color
like
cars.
this.
Yes.
Pretty
Yeah.
much
so good.
Full screen. Thanks, ad blocker, for blocking
Sparko.
my screen.
Yeah, even like bronze on pickup trucks. I've never seen bronze wheels on two-tone pickup.
They have to be a single color for
Yes,
bronze because the
yes.
bronze is the accent
Yes,
color.
yeah, exactly.
You cannot have an accent. And
So
then
that's why I
another.
think it might be weird, especially with how close the tan is to the bronze. If it was black, or maybe you should black out where the tan is on your car.
That
would-
sounds like
that
a
would be
lot
good.
of fucking work.
That's why I don't want to paint your
You
whole
will-
car. It's so
Yeah.
much work.
All you got to do is rough it up, and we can fucking spray paint it. Or Herculiner. I'm telling you.
Hercules, but I mean, it's
fuck.
It's
so good.
it's half clean Jeep, but Subaru.
They cleaned just the front half.
yeah.
Good Lord.
Have you seen half? Brian,
I
you've
know
seen
half clean
yeah,
Jeep,
half clean
yeah.
Jeep. The dude literally like his spare tire, he cleans half a
Half
lug
of it?
nut. Half a
Jesus
lug nut
Christ.
inside the fucking spare tire.
That sounds like
It's-
a lot of fucking work.
Oh, it is,
so
but
much work.
he's got like 100,000 subscribers.
Is
on
it
his
kind of like
fucking
the same thing where guys take like the buff and polish solution and do like half of
No,
something?
it's so
This
much
is
more
this
than that.
is you will not you have to see it to appreciate it. It's, and in person was even cooler.
Yeah, in pictures it looks.
he
kinda
did
cool.
underneath the
He
fucking
does.
hood,
Dude,
too.
the whole
Jesus
thing,
Christ.
the whole thing.
How the fuck does he keep water from spraying?
He's
he
better.
and he's local to Badlands, so all the mud
No
is from
shit.
Badlands too. Yeah.
Oh, good for that guy.
like it
hey,
is.
look, there's a Jurassic Park Jeep in the background.
He's
Yeah.
probably a car. He goes to just car shows and stuff with it. But like,
Yeah.
it is.
Nuts.
He's gonna go up to the engine bay now. Like it is perfectly.
Half the air filter will be clean. Half of the spark
the
plug will
And
be
he has an
clean.
RC
He's
car. It's
got a
also
RC
half clean.
car.
That's dope.
Oh.
Like, look at this.
That's like a
Spotless.
professional fucking
Dude, it is
detail.
it is
This is-
actually nuts.
the
This is his
fuck?
full-time job.
This dude's got way too much time on his hands. Get a hobby.
This is his-
Besides
This is his
this.
whole. He's known for this.
Look at the mirror underneath. Hold on. Like, do you
What?
see
yeah,
this?
you
the
see the line
fuck?
of
There's
dirt
a
and shit.
perfect
Yes.
line.
It
And
is.
he draws all
so
these onto the
cool.
window. Like,
Yep.
Oh, I was gonna ask, is that like drawn on?
yeah, all this is drawn on.
What
Like, it's not
the
stickered.
fuck?
It's perfectly
Good
half
for that
clean.
guy, but fuck that.
It's a lot of work.
Half. Yeah, if you're ever bored, half clean Jeep on Instagram is fucking. It is very cool.
It is a
I'm
mind-
sure Jeremy knows who this is too.
Oh yeah, but it is a
Wait,
mind-melting
Screw-
experience.
Oh fuck.
I went up to the. I was kind of drunk when I did it. I walked up to the rear wheel. Half of the middle lug nut is clean. How do you clean half a lug nut?
Perfectly. And
It is-
this side is polished.
Yeah, polished wheel. One side is literal just straight
With
like
tire
mud.
shine
Tire
on.
and then
Yes.
dirt. Like it's
But there's no
perfectly done.
tape line either. The
No.
tape would have pulled it back. You know what? Like hurts
Andy's-
my brain.
He's blowing his mind again.
Brain hurty.
So cool.
It is so impressive.
Do I have any more pictures?
Yeah,
I don't know
probably.
where the fuck I was going.
You never do. It's
Wheels, and then we're gonna.
No, that
paint it.
was the end of it.
Oh,
It
that
was the
was it?
wheels.
Okay. Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Because that was when you came here today.
Yep.
Yep.
Wheels are getting cleaned up, and I have new shocks on the ass end of the donor that need to get taken
Wheels
off.
and
Hell
the
yeah.
leg man.
Yeah.
So I guess it's my turn.
Yep.
Yeah, we heard about a bad clutch before.
There was some issues.
Oh, there was a couple issues. Yes,
There
this
was-
is true.
Issues. That thing was fucked.
How dare you? You don't even know that.
You could push the
It's a
clutch pedal
Honda, you
all the
can't
way
kill
in.
it.
You can't kill it, but that
can
doesn't mean
wound it.
shit's not fucked.
You
So-
can wound it and eat it a little bit.
Yeah.
Really.
The general story is, so when we're working on Marcus's car, he needed a jump start.
Yeah.
So I had started up my
Funny.
Honda that had been sitting there for months.
Yes.
Started right up, and I'm like, sweet. Drove it over to his car. It was kind of running weird.
It was two-stepping.
Hooked it up. It only revved to 3,000, which I'm like, that's weird. But it has a check engine light. I'm sure it'll explain itself. You know,
Yeah.
a sensor went bad, whatever. Parked it. Came back to it, a week later or whatever, and it's dead. I'm like,
Bad
well, that
news.
sucks.
Yeah.
So I go to press the clutch in, or go to press the clutch in to start it.
It was cold.
It's dead, and the clutch goes straight to the floor and doesn't come
Yeah,
back
whatever
up.
day it was, I thought maybe it was just because it was
It
fucking
was like
freezing
12
out.
degrees.
Yeah,
and
it was
fucking
cold.
windy. And I'm like, maybe it's super cold. All the seals are shrunk, like whatever.
Yeah.
So then
Maybe not.
it got a little bit nicer. Try to get. I'm like, no, it still goes right to the floor. I'm like, oh, that sucks. Whatever. But
hydraulic
woken.
clutch problems.
cables don't just disappear. Hydraulics do. So I'm like, all right, well, I know that's a problem. Like I think it needed a clutch anyway because the engagement point was getting a little bit high towards the end of the
Which,
season.
let's just say, how big a diameter is your clutch plate?
7.5 inches.
Yeah, you could palm the motherfucker.
I could easily palm.
If
I could
you
pick
really
it up with
wanted
one
to.
hand. Yeah, it's
Yeah.
impressive. But I'm like, I've been
Small.
pretty hard on it. I know it has a clutch delay valve, which I hate anyway.
It needs
Yeah.
to go by.
So I'm like, it needs a master because it's leaking.
Yep.
I need to replace the line to get rid of the delay valve.
Yep.
I might as well do a slave and a clutch while I'm in there.
Yep.
Yes.
Order all the parts, do it all at once, whatever. So
How much
The-
was your total
the-
in parts
the
and
right way
ADM?
to do it.
it
300
really
bucks.
$300-400. The clutch whole set was like 200 some because it's
Yeah.
tiny stuff.
Oh yeah.
So I got like an slightly upgraded clutch. It's like 10% stronger. Whatever. It's
which I
nothing.
would, because you're basically fucking.
I'm pretty sure that's what I have on
clutch
the
dumping.
Subaru.
Yeah,
That's
thing.
all they really offer is like,
I'm-
hey, here's
yeah.
a stage 2. I'm like, brother, I'm still making 100 horsepower. I don't fucking care.
It ain't gonna make a difference,
Yeah.
brother.
What are we? This is fucking. We're fucking comparing.
Yeah,
nothing
it's
here.
the stock clutch, this one, or a like 3-puck race clutch. I'm like,
Yeah.
that'd be cool.
But
Do
I'm
we
not-
really need it for stock front wheel drive class?
Yeah. Is it in class rules? Yes, it is. I could do it.
Yeah.
Well,
Any
but-
disc is fine as long as it fits.
again,
Yeah.
technically on that standpoint, even though it's a 3-puck race clutch,
Mm-hmm.
is that going to last longer compared to like a stage 2 fully circular?
Yes, because it's way tougher material.
Yeah.
So they make it smaller so you can put more pressure per inch.
Which
Which
if
if
focusing,
You can use a
more
harder
pressure.
material and put more
Gotcha.
pressure down
it's gonna bite
versus
better.
spreading it out. It's semantics at that point. You're chasing decimals, but it does
Ghosts,
work. But you put a lot of pressure on a small area.
Gotcha.
So I didn't do that. I, went
I,
with the
I don't
regular-
I don't fucking blame you whatsoever.
regular full size disc, but we'll just click through my weekend. So I was
a race car.
gonna start Friday, and I get there after work, and Brad's in the shop spray painting one of his rifles. And I'm
Neat.
like,
Spray painting?
yeah,
Yeah,
that's
he
how
does
that's
that.
how
Oh,
you paint
like
rifles.
the plastic and shit.
Spray paint.
Yeah.
like in a can.
Yeah.
Yeah.
like the whole rifle, like assembled.
Oh, good lord.
Hang it up from the crane, and just fucking.
It's a Brad type thing
the
to
thing.
do, you know.
It's an 18-inch barreled, like some sort of thing. It's a
for
nice,
him.
very nice rifle.
Yeah.
He got a new handguard for it. The handguard was $400. It's like a cool, like metallic
Holy
green spray paints over it.
Yeah, we
Like,
love that.
I'm like, that's fucking.
You know, funny enough, when we were on our way back from Indy,
Mm-hmm.
his exact year and trim color truck
Yeah.
drove past us, and we were making fun of, tiny dicked fucking truck guys because
Sure.
like there was 3 squatted trucks and I don't know.
There was a
something
big
else
truck show
that
way.
passed us, and I was like, they were all making fun of that specific truck, and I looked up and I was
I
like,
know that guy.
that's got a Wisconsin plate on it. That might be Brad.
If he wasn't, he was at my parents' house all weekend.
And then I was like, wait, that truck's too clean to be Brad's.
his truck has like 280,000
yeah.
miles.
I was
Yeah,
like, it's not Brad.
it's seen better days, but
Yeah.
he was there Friday, so I'm like, whatever. I'm like, we'll just hang out and I'll work on it Saturday.
Yeah, because you
Bullshit.
said something about Logan, and I was like, oh, so you're drinking in the shop.
Yeah, it fell up. We didn't get a lot done after that.
I figured as much.
Because you sent me the video of the guy with the shotgun powered axe.
yes.
And Logan actually like watches that guy like
Yeah,
on YouTube.
yeah,
And I'm
yeah.
like, how about that? Anyway,
Yeah, I thought that was
Be
neat.
cool, but a motherfucker to reload.
Yeah, you got it's the principle. But so Friday we didn't do anything. Friday we didn't do anything. I got home at like 11. As I'm like getting ready for bed, Nick Buckstein texts me. He's like, "You want to play some games?" I'm like, "I am kind of awake." I'm like, "Fuck it, whatever."
Fuck it, we ball.
I went to bed at 5:30.
God,
Anyway,
God damn it, I'm in.
anyway,
What you
God,
guys
you sound
play?
like Dom.
'Cause he
Dom
worked-
doesn't say like Valorant till fucking. I'm like, dude, Jesus Christ.
but Nick works second shift, so it's like
Yeah,
this
for
is
him
natural
it's
for
fine.
him.
Yeah,
And I'm like, all right,
you're just a glutton for
I'll throw some
punishment,
caffeine
so-
down. I'm not worried about it.
Yeah.
So I roll in the next day at like 11ish. I'm like, all right,
Hell
we can
yeah.
do this.
Hell yeah.
Get the car in the shop, and we'll just go through what I found. So there's my little race car. It wouldn't. The starter doesn't have enough power to pull the car and start it into gear, so we had to push it. I'm like, oh, 'cause I was just gonna stuff it in reverse,
Yeah.
hit the key until it fired, and roll it back into the
Yeah.
shop.
You have to push the clutch in still, right?
Yeah,
To-
you get past the sensor. It doesn't do anything.
Yeah, exactly.
so-
The clutch doesn't work, so it doesn't matter. Yeah,
yeah,
that's funny.
So it does. The starter's not strong enough to push the car and
time
start
for
it.
a starter upgrade now.
I was like, damn it. I'm like, whatever. We'll just
Balls.
push it. So we pushed it in. It was fine.
yeah,
We went and got lunch while it, dripped all the fluids off it 'cause it was wet. But
yeah.
got in the shop, started picking it up, realized it's like leaning a lot.
Yeah.
Picked it up from just the one.
This picture
You're trying to
reminds
pick
me.
the whole car up with
Just half of so I pick half of it up, put two
Yeah.
car ramps under each side, pick the other half up,
Yeah.
put two ramps under it,
Yeah.
then pick the front up, put it on jack stands.
Remember when?
Yeah.
What the fuck were you doing? Putting your wheels on while it was still in
the paint booth?
In the paint
That
booth?
was really
And it
sketchy.
was we were picking one corner up at a time, but
It
also
was-
holding weight down to put a jack stand up.
That was really sketchy. This is way finer because it's on wheels already. But picked it up, threw it on ramps, put it on jacks. You can see how this is how I worked on it. One ramp facing forward, one ramp backwards.
Yep.
So
Yeah.
it can't really roll off.
Yeah.
So I'm like,
it ain't gonna fucking go.
well, it's like I'm
anywhere.
gonna be taking weight out and shaking things. I'm like,
I see
Yeah.
a big puddle under there.
yeah, it does that sometimes. That's just water.
It just pissed.
Oh, okay.
I believe
Okay.
because I haven't worked on much.
I
at
didn't
this
know if
point.
it was that's how bad this fucking slave was.
No. So
Or
that
the leak, I
that
guess,
comes
for the
from
clutch.
this.
Oh fuck!
Is that just a skid plate?
This is my plastic skid plate in the middle of the car.
Hey, look, that caught
Wow.
all the corn cobs from
and all the
freeze your curds off. Is
Yeah, freeze your
just
curds.
every fucking crevice is just packed.
So yeah, we need to work on skid plates.
Remember
for
when
you,
I said
huh?
it was wet?
Yeah.
This is what I mean. Is everything's packed full of mud.
Wow.
Like it's bending this skid plate out like 2
Yeah.
inches.
How fun was that to take off?
Oh, I didn't take it off
Oh
yet.
fuck!
Hey, Marcus, you free this weekend?
I am somewhat free this week.
Fix my-
Sunday.
You buy the fucking the oscillating fucking
Multi-tool and just beat it to
no
death.
the oscillating
Use your words.
sprinkler. And
Oh
you
my-
just shove it under here. That's how
This is-
off-roaders, they love them.
Yeah.
They
Put the little cast iron tractor under there to go back and forth.
yes, exactly. Yes.
And just soften it up slowly.
yeah.
This
no,
skid plate
people
should
like
come off,
off-roaders,
but-
they praise the fucking oscillating sprinkler.
So you're gonna need a new skid plate.
No, this one's plastic. It'll come.
Just fucking
it'll-
make
yeah,
it out of
it'll bounce
aluminum.
It'll
back.
come right off. It's fine.
It'll bounce back.
I might make one out of steel, but we'll see. The
If
one
you
in the
do
front
yours,
held
I
up
want to do
great.
mine.
I'm sure you do.
I want to do skid plates.
Do them then.
yeah.
Oh, but I have.
Oh, I
to.
have road signs
No.
if you want.
You just have to help me design it.
You could design. You have Tinkercad.
Brother,
Anyway.
cardboard is
Speaking-
your best friend on this.
Speaking of Tinkercad,
Oh my
real
God.
quick.
You love to say "speaking of."
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
long
I
story
found
short.
out that there's a lot of shortcuts for that really save you time. Ergo, like there's
You've been using it for
You've been
10 years
You've been
now?
raw
like
dogging
four,
it, just
yes,
clicking every
I have
feature.
been raw dogging, lining things up center to center, and then I found out if you right click two
Control C.
things at the same time, it'll pull up a menu and you can just do it.
How pissed are you?
years off of your life.
I about had a shit fit.
The amount
when
of
I found
time
that out.
I've seen him spend like moving it like a millimeter at a time, trying
Not
to
like
square it up.
0.01 millimeter at a time, and then I do freehand to like actually line it up, and then I'm
Just
like,
click center.
you cocksucker.
We loved that.
Well, so the gauge pod that I made, that
Yeah.
was entirely done in Tinkercad,
Yeah,
yeah.
which is kind of
kind of a pain in the ass.
surprising for my level of bullshittery.
You're
in
extremely
Tinkercad.
proficient
In
in Tinkercad.
Tinkercad.
Nothing else. Only
Put me in
Tinker-
SolidWorks.
That's a
I'm gonna
very
go,
rare
"Oh."
title. There's
you
not a
are-
lot of people
well,
got in for first.
Most
for
people
that.
are on Fusion 360
Yeah,
by now. You are,
I need to get to that point, but like to get
SolidWorks is so easy.
it's so easy.
Just learn
to
it. It's-
get the mesh and 3D file for my pillar, I had to 3D scan it on my phone, download the 3D scan, send it to my computer, convert the file, import it into Mesh Mixer, smooth it all out, cut it and crop it, then finally import it into Tinkercad because Tinkercad has a file size limit on what you import into it.
because it's made for like amateur
Yeah,
work.
and then, rotate it and get it all set at the angle which it should set, and then, put my model up against it and use it to cut and,
Start
copy
breaking.
paste everything. It was a fucking pain in the ass. We need to sit down one weekend and you need
teach you
to
how
help.
it works.
No. You need to help me walk through how to torrent it and not make it call home, so
It's
it
so
wants to
easy.
shut itself down.
If you can follow the README, it's easy. You just can't read.
I'm just too lazy. I skim.
Yeah, you cannot skim when you're dealing with stuff like that.
Correct.
Irregardlessly, corn.
Corn and mud. Old
Yes.
dirt.
If Nick was here, he would do the classic. I can't.
I hope he
I'm
listens
not-
to this
not
too,
even
and he's gonna be
close.
really ashamed
He'll
at how
probably-
poor that was.
Yeah.
He probably will too.
He probably will.
He's gonna put. He's gonna type in Discord. What the fuck?
Yeah. What the actual fuck?
Anyway, corn.
Sorry, I'll work on it.
More dirt.
Oh, God.
yeah.
Even the suspension's packed full
My
of dirt.
brother.
I'm just like, oh yeah, I suppose
Is
I was.
that your oil pan?
It's a
And-
natural bump
Yeah.
stop.
That's my oil pan. I have the skid plate off the front. at
Hey,
this
the
point.
dirt is just a natural bump stop.
It
It's fine.
really kind. It cushions it. you
Yeah.
know?
It's a body dampener. It stops
It
the
is.
fucking whole car from
It is.
rattling.
So yeah, everything's. This is how I'm working on everything.
I'll say,
pretty
did you
much.
you didn't clean any of this?
The car doesn't run. I can't drive it back out and clean it
You
To clean it with the hot seat.
and melt the paint off of it.
Yeah.
Already done that.
Well,
but
do it with the
fair.
fucking wheel well. And shit.
Either way, I'm just like, nah. Most of it's not that bad because I had a skid plate under the engine, so everything in there is kind of clean.
You know, before rally, you should probably like clean all that
Fuck
off for
you.
weight
No,
savings.
it's just
For
gonna
weight
get muddy.
savings,
It's
yes.
fine.
yeah.
I'm like, maybe there's something to these people like cleaning their cars after they do
Well,
this.
like what was the TikTok? And it was WRC, and it was
TikTok.
before weigh-ins, before and after they were racing
they
in like Finland. They gained like 30 kilograms in fucking
of
ice,
dust and ice.
and it's like, ew, gross. You gotta clean that.
in a car that makes no power, that does make a
Yeah,
difference.
fair.
But yeah,
We're all in that category.
so I'm like, okay, start tearing it apart. I'm like, I know what I need to do. I just don't want to do it because I'm like, but found the culprit.
Hey,
Did the mice get it? Or is
There's
it
a
just,
no, that looks leaky as fuck.
There is a hole there.
Yeah,
It's hard to tell from this
Looks
picture.
like a lot of hair on it, honestly.
It's fiber from the inside of the
Yep.
hose.
Oh, okay.
Here's how the hose actually
Oh,
yeah,
that's how
it
bad
is.
it actually was. Wow, that's almost impressive.
it is. They
It just did that naturally. That wasn't even
no,
you like.
the mice did that.
Oh, okay, that's what I thought.
the mice.
Little fucking cocksuckers.
The mice because it sat on my trailer until New Year's.
Yes.
Because we weren't sure if we were using your big trailer, and I'm like, I'll
Yes.
unload mine anyway,
Yep.
just
Yep,
in case
yep.
we decide to change it.
Yeah.
I think from when I took it off until now is they just devoured this thing.
Apparently, yeah. You need
bastards.
to like fucking. I don't know. Like
If I leave it on the trailer, I think it'll be fine.
Yeah. Well, it also, but it sucks leaving it on the trailer because you
Yeah.
don't. Then you don't have a.
I haven't
like.
I didn't use it until this weekend.
Well,
anyway,
yeah,
or
but
this-
it's
yesterday.
imagine like. God forbid it's like Michael's truck breaks down. Like, okay, let's go get the fucking
It's
trailer.
awfully convenient to be like, I have a trailer right here with ramps, with the hitch in it,
Or
ready to
Michael's-
go.
Oh
Michael's-
fuck! Let me take 10 fucking minutes and unload the stupid fucking car.
or Michael's Subaru breaks down for
Right.
sure.
Hey,
Anyway, so
a good narrator would call that foreshadowing.
yeah, hose is ripped. I'm like, okay, that at least makes sense why the
Jesus.
clutch stopped working.
Yes.
Completely.
Like eating through wiring, I get. You know, it's
Yeah.
tasty, it's colorful. A hose filled with fucking brake fluid.
Yeah.
You imagine you're a mouse just yum, 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 yum.
Probably,
Well,
hey, it probably
kept-
killed at least that one.
and
Like,
kept eating enough to rip the whole thing
Yeah.
open.
And wasn't there like a the reason that mice eat through
Mices.
the wiring and shit is because the coating has
It is soybean based.
Yes,
Yeah.
thank
and
you.
soybeans are delicious to mice.
Yeah, soybeans.
So thanks, Japan. Your wiring's super cool. Fun fact:
Yeah.
as I'm doing this, I'm like, they ate the wiring on the car, parked right next to my trailer that I just rewired the whole thing. I'm just like,
Oh fuck! Get my shotgun. I'm gonna
it
kill a
might be
motherfucker.
new enough that is
I'm like, oh,
different.
No,
but
and I'm just
that
like,
trailer's been outside for
no,
at
no,
least
no.
a
The
year.
wiring on the trailer
Still.
though, it might
So,
be
like,
different enough.
all the
but
wiring there is like Amazon special. So I'm like, maybe it's too cheap to have a good enough coating.
Hopefully,
it's
it's
too
like
full of
shitty
microplastics.
Exactly.
silicone base.
It's
Yeah.
real plastic. It's the good
Yeah.
stuff. So I hooked up to it yesterday and everything works. So I'm like, we're good. Thank fuck. But I'm just like,
if I gotta crawl under that fucker and redo
I'll just
wiring,
flip it over
I'm gonna
again,
be
but
pissed.
I'm just like, oh fuck, they killed the car. They
Yeah.
ate into
What
Dad's
about the
transmission
trailer?
control harness on
oh
his new
yeah,
truck.
fuck, that's right. I
Yeah.
forget
And I'm
about
like,
that.
my trailer's been sitting there just unguarded.
You know
I'm
what
like,
you need
"Aw,
to do next winter?
Get a cat.
No, besides that,
Several
just
cats.
get
Bobcat.
just get the bucket of pelletized
rat poison.
rat
I just
poison and
bought
just
one. You want
sprinkle
some?
it
Just-
fucking around the
I
truck.
have the package. I bought
Put some
it's like,
mothballs in
I think
there.
it's like a 32 pack. I bought a. It's a
It's the
2-gallon
like,
bucket.
cubes.
Well, it's a 2-gallon bucket of packs, and the packs have individual pellets. There's like
I
1,000 pellets.
It's
in
the
a pack.
refill pack pellet thing.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. Not the. I saw the cubes. I'm like, I don't like.
Nah.
The
I
green
knew.
cubes-
I
the
know
cubes
that these
don't
little.
work.
I know that these little pellets work
The
because that's what
pellets
was
fucking
already in
work.
my garage.
Yep.
And I had just moved them around to where the mice were. Like they eventually got upstairs.
They just find your
and they-
bucket of coolant and dive in there. To be fair.
No, not Ford
glycerin.
Gold coolant apparently because I had a bucket of that for 3 weeks now and nothing's touched it.
Oh, dang it.
But the packet
Aw,
of
dang it.
little like little
Granules.
grains essentially. They fucking love those because I've like there was probably 6 of them throughout my garage when I first bought it. There's one left, or there was one
They've
left.
ate through
and
most
or
of
no, there's
them.
2 left. I
I-
brought the one upstairs because there are fucking interstate systems through my blow-in fucking insulation upstairs.
Little cocksuckers.
It's fucking ignorant. Like there's literally just holes everywhere of fucking like
they're
their
having the
interstate-
time of their life.
Dude,
up
it's
there.
I
Well, one,
I-
it's warm.
Well,
Two,
yeah.
they can hide. Like they're thrilled.
Yes.
But
I threw another pack up there. They fucking devoured the entire pack. I'm like, okay, we're gonna keep buying this.
They're just gonna be dead in the insulation, rotting.
well, yes, but at least they're not
well,
eating the
yeah.
wiring and shit.
Yeah.
I
You have to find 'em.
specifically remember in all of my transmitter sites when I was working at the radio station, because they have like the little square
Bait boxes.
vacuum formed
Oh yeah,
little squares that you put the pellets in.
yeah.
Sure, if you say so.
It would get to the point where, and I mean, we just kept the same little plastic squares, but we just refilled the pellets. But it got to the point where like some of them we had to change out because they would they would chew through the fucking plastic at the bottom.
like trying to find more pellet.
Yes.
Oh my god.
Because they would eat through the pellets and turn that into powder, and then they'd fuck off and die.
Yeah.
But like
But the next one will come
yeah,
up fiending for some powder. And
pellets fucking work.
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah.
Not
That's-
the little blocks, not the little
Yeah.
traps. Just get the fucking pellets. It works.
It
They
was
love
actually
that
it was
shit.
surprisingly cheap. Like that 2-gallon bucket that I bought was like
And that
not
shit
even
works.
$30.
It's a couple of bucks.
And
yeah,
that
it's
shit works
cheap.
fucking quick.
The problem is
Yes.
like this is outside, so I can't contain.
Yeah, that is the
Ah,
problem.
fuck it.
And then if you put poison out there, then you're almost attracting,
You're
more
they'll
to it.
eat the
Yeah.
poison, curl up in the car, eat something, and then
then
die.
die.
Yeah, exactly.
So it's like I'm gonna try to leave it on the trailer next winter.
fair.
It
yeah.
just because I don't use it in the winter much.
yeah, winter not for sure not, but
Like
yeah.
once it's nice out, I'm back and forth and there, and if I can move it around and just
Yeah.
kind of check on it. But during the winter, I'll try to keep it up.
yeah,
But
Put
yeah,
some mothballs under it.
those fucking reek. They don't work anyway. That's a myth.
Yeah, I don't
Especially
even know if
outside,
they
those
do.
fucking blow the stink off of them.
fair. Yeah.
So that's where we're at. on
Fucking
that.
mice.
Yeah. So I'm
Bunch
like,
of
yeah, they
cocksuckers.
suck.
they didn't eat the trailer. I'm like, okay, that's good because I don't want to. Everything's ran individually wired
Yeah.
in 2
I-
boxes
I
as
will-
nice as it can be.
I will find and fist fight a fucking mouse if he eats through that
We
trailer.
only spent like 2 weeks wiring.
Yeah,
it.
do you know how many times I busted my fucking we were pulling wire, my fucking finger'd get caught in the hole that we
In the
just
conduit,
drilled,
yeah, or
and I
something.
would just fucking my hands were fucked
The wiring was hard to pull through
after
that.
we got through that.
and it's all a lot of like little tiny connectors.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Fuck that! I will fist
But
fight a fucking mouse.
We didn't ruin the trailer. We're
Thank
good.
fuck.
Anyway, back to the
damn.
pictures.
So hose is eating through.
There's another one in here. It's hard to tell. This hose down here.
that looks entirely gone.
that is separated. There's
Yeah.
here. The hose is here. It's just split in half.
Is that just
Yeah.
a breather?
It's the breather for the transmission diff. Yeah.
I mean,
Ah,
still.
I can just
needed.
put a connector on there. It's
but
fine. But I'm like,
fuck.
that's split in half. That kind of sucks. Here is my master cylinder and clutch delay valve
That
combination.
looks so small.
It is very small. This is little tiny stuff.
Little tiny baby.
This
fat-
rotates in here
fat
freely. There's a little
baby.
pin that takes it out. All I did was just cut the fucking line because it was already gone.
Yep.
oh
Fuck it.
yeah.
But yeah, here's my clutch delay valve. I know we've talked about it a lot.
You don't need that.
No.
Yeah.
There's basically a diaphragm and a spring in here
It's a little bitch.
that if you dump the clutch too hard, it'll push that
It'll cushion it,
diaphragm.
yeah.
It'll slow the flow of the fluid.
Yes.
If you're using it slowly, it doesn't affect it all. But if you hit it, if you shock it,
It's
Yes.
great for a daily driver, but in a race car, it's fucking pointless.
if you don't know how to drive a manual, this might save your clutch a couple of
Yeah.
times. But in a race car, I'm like, I want it to go right meow. Just go.
I'm trying to dump the clutch. Fuck
Yes,
you.
I am-
Do what I want. You
And
are
it-
a manual.
I'll be honest,
I command you.
It did work pretty good. Like Andy was behind me whenever I launched. Sometimes he's like, "You're throwing shit off those tires."
Yeah.
they
Like-
are working.
Yeah. Shockingly, it
I would rev the car, hold it on the floor till it hits 5,000 and let go of the clutch.
Yeah.
And
Dump
it worked.
Yeah. It never made any smoke, never smelled, and it
no.
always launched kind of hard.
Yeah.
Or like I was hard enough. You could tell there was ambition behind the launch.
Yeah, there was nothing left to give it.
Yeah.
So
without that, now it's going to be way more violent.
I might dump it at like 3 now because it might just snap and
the
go.
first practice or the first
I'm gonna-
event, be like, all right,
See,
let's ease into it.
That's kind of the one thing that sucks. We have what, two or three full rally days before the first practice.
I think the first practice is on the second day.
Oh yeah,
Like event 1, there's no practice day before it. The event is the first event.
correct.
Which is like, that means everybody else is just as out of practice. Unless we want to go to
True.
an Iowa region race. They do them all the time.
Yeah, because what? We have rally number 1,
April 27th.
April 27th.
Byron
Then we have
Motorsports
rally 2, May 18th.
Mm-hmm.
Then we have practice.
Oh, so it isn't until the third one.
yeah.
Okay.
June is the first practice.
Yeah, because there's an RX 101
Yes.
on the second event, isn't there?
I don't know. I don't have that in my calendar.
Oh, goddamn. I thought you looked at the fucking schedule.
No.
So I'm like, just tell me what the schedule
I'm
says.
not fucking paying for RX 101. I'm a fucking professional. We
No,
have our own team.
You might need it. Depends if
my-
Michael races or not.
I'll sabotage the. Well, okay, so speaking of that, you want to talk about Michael's?
Not really.
Do you want the
We'll do it at
events?
the end. When's the first practice? Is it event 3?
Event 1, 427. Event 2, RX 101.
Yeah.
It's 517.
Right.
So that's technically
Yeah,
the
event
first
3,
practice.
621 is practice. 622 is event
So
3.
there's no practice day until the third event.
Yes,
Okay. So
correct.
yeah, we're going to just go into it raw.
Yeah.
Fuck it.
I'll just test it on the road. It's fine.
Yeah.
Well, you're gonna have to get some miles on it to fucking break
I'm
it in.
going to have to break this clutch in.
You're gonna go around the country mile a lot.
Around the yard, just in circles.
Yeah.
Fuck it. Go out into the
Oh.
field before it's planted or.
I got it. I'll
Tilled.
tie the wheel all the way left, just let the clutch out and let it just drive in circles. It can't go anywhere.
Fair.
Right?
Go anywhere.
Just put a fucking slow moving vehicle sign on it. It'll be fine. You're good for a country
It's
mile.
basically a Ranger. I mean,
Yeah.
it's a Polaris Ranger.
Sir, officer, I don't know what you're talking about. This is a farm vehicle. Why is it painted
Why
like this?
does it have racing numbers on
It's
it?
so you can see it promptly from the side of the field.
It is unbelievably high vis.
Yeah.
I don't
So,
know what
yeah.
you're talking about. It's a farm vehicle.
Everything's a farm vehicle if you try hard enough.
Fuck yeah.
But yeah, so I got this all out. We're gonna bypass this delay valve. That's all gone now.
So you can buy the generic farm use plate.
Oh yeah. Well, I can't because I don't have a title. But anyway.
No, like the fuck you buy it from Walmart.
Oh,
It's a
yeah.
fucking just farm. I'm sure Rural King has one. Just
100%.
farm use.
Here's the other half.
Good luck searching it.
Here's my slave cylinder. It mounts on the outside of the transmission,
Interesting.
which would have been good to
fuck?
know. Because I'm like, I guess I could have just replaced it on the outside and not had to tear it apart. But I'm like, yeah.
What's that little hose beneath it?
This is the brake, the one that they chewed through.
Yeah,
I
that's the
cut
other
it in
half of
half
it.
to get it out easier.
Yeah.
Lord.
So I didn't have to like try to wiggle a 3-foot cable out of here.
Yeah.
But here's the actual slave cylinder. It just pushes a rod, which then pushes a lever, which pushes the clutch.
Neat.
Normally they're inside.
Sounds like a lot of fucking work.
Normally they're inside the transmission, so you can't change them without pulling it
Yes.
apart.
Correct.
fair.
Pulling it apart's more work. So good to know this is external.
Yeah, but you were replacing the clutch anyway.
I'm replacing it anyway because I'm like, what? I thought this was internal.
Yeah.
So,
which
like,
most are. Yeah.
Most are. So I'm like, if I have to replace it, I'll tear it all apart, do it from the inside. Turns out I'm not.
Cool.
What's next to? Oh yes, next wiring fault.
Wires.
So
Is that an ABS sensor?
no, those are orange. This is yellow. So there's 2 sensors that make your car run well.
MAF.
There's a MAF
An
sensor
And
and an
an
O2
O2.
sensor.
They got
These
both
bastards chewed through both of them.
Yep.
Like the MAF sensor's why it only revs to $3,000 and pops.
Yep.
The O2
Oh wait, no. There'll be a third one that will reduce your speed. That'll be the speed sensor on your
sensor.
transmission.
Right.
Check that one too. If they're really trying to just fuck
They
you
are-
out of any performance of this car, they'll do the trifecta, which will be the speed
You're
sensor.
closer than you think you are, and that's what pisses me off. So this is the O2 sensor, not the O2 sensor harness. This is from the sensor to the ECU side harness.
Ah, yes. Okay.
So I can't just buy a new sensor and plug it in. I have to rewire it into the harness.
Yeah.
It took me probably half an hour to find where this wire goes into the harness. I'm like, did
Oh.
they eat 2 foot of wire? I'm like, I cannot, because they ate it off flush with the ribbing on the wire.
Yes.
I'm like, where the does this go? I'm looking at it. I'm like, this might be it for the car. I don't know if I can fix, because if they ate it all the way in, I'm like,
Yeah.
I can't get enough repair harness to fix this.
Exactly. Yeah.
I'm like, this sucks. I'm just like, I don't know what to do here. I'm like, eventually I'm just like, fuck it, whatever. I'm just gonna keep going. I'll figure it out. I'll find the
Right.
harness later, whatever. But
Oh fuck.
so yeah, ate through that clear as day. I was like, why? I think this is why my battery's going dead, because I keep eating through all these wires and basically twisting them together.
Yeah.
So it just pulls all the power out.
So where is this connector we're looking at in the engine
This
bay, I
is on the
guess?
back side of the motor,
Okay.
where it's really hard to get to.
Yeah.
Because it's on the back side
Love
of the motor.
that. Love that.
So my plan is to fix all the wiring before I put the
I
transmission
would,
back
yeah,
in,
where you have
so I
more
can
room.
stand
Yeah.
in the car.
Yeah.
Because it is.
Well,
kind of a
you're
pain
gonna
to
put
get to.
you're gonna put the stool down and you're gonna fucking
Yeah.
do it all while you're sitting in there. And,
Yeah, but I'll be in the. Well, there's not much in the engine bay. It's kind of small. But,
fair. Yeah.
but I'm like, I'm gonna do all the wiring before I put it back in.
Yeah.
That way
Double
I
check
can-
everything before you fucking make a
Before I-
giant fucking thing in your way.
Yeah, before I cover up half the wiring or I can't reach
Yeah.
it now or whatever.
Yep.
So
Yep.
it's the mass airflow and the O2 are the two big sensors. I'm like, damn it, like I kind of need both of those,
Yeah.
especially for like wide open throttle abuse, whatever.
Yeah.
Then there's this one here.
That is almost impressive.
They ate it off flush.
Yeah, there is like
They ate through the fucking
there's
tabs
a
around it.
1/16 of an inch of one of the two wires left.
Oh, yeah.
That's it.
This sensor is, or this connector is also impossible to get pretty much.
Cool.
This is my reverse light sensor.
Ah.
And all the automatics don't have this. So only the manuals have
Yeah.
it. And out of those.
Can you just unpin it? I mean, it's going to be a bitch, but can you unpin that technically? It's an OEM fucking connector, so they are very well made.
Yeah.
which
You can
sucks.
see it's like glued in there almost.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, they are very well pinned. From
One
OEM.
person on the internet makes it, and it's like $35. I'm just like,
Yikes.
fine, I'll order it. Whatever.
so
I'm not fighting it.
The
I'm just-
retainer, the parking brake cable retainer, where it sits in the backing plate.
Mm-hmm.
I had to buy two of them for $15 a piece,
Mm-hmm.
or buy them for $1.50 a piece and then pay $15 in shipping.
It's the same thing.
So I'm
either
like,
way.
but I bought the $15 piece ones on Amazon. I'm like, they're gonna get here like quickly, so I'm just gonna buy them off Amazon.
No, yeah, exactly. But
$20 extra, but I know they'll be here in a couple days. So.
yeah. So my two most important sensors and one for my reverse lights, which I don't know if they even work. We might
I don't
have
need
Fair,
reverse
yeah.
lights in
Like,
a race car. Weight reduction.
when we pulled fuses to make my air blower work for my helmet.
Oh, yeah.
I think it's the reverse fuse. I don't remember. I know we took one of them, and I'm like,
You don't.
That would have been good to
you
jot down.
Don't need a fucking reverse.
it's nice
light
for when like
fuse.
you're in grid. You're like, I need to back up, light on. If you don't have
toggle
it,
switch
Race cars don't have it. It's
to a
fine.
flashlight
Race
that's
cars-
mounted to duct
race
taped in the
cars
rear.
don't need headlights because the track's always
Always lit.
Yeah, I've been there, done that, but regardless, I'm like, okay, all the wiring's fucked. I'm not gonna scrap the car. I'm gonna fix it. I'm like, all right, fine.
Yeah.
So
Hey, you're still in a better position than, I don't know, a blown head gasket and an engine that gets angry when it gets warm.
you guys have titles. I doesn't. That's why I'm like, do I
Yeah,
just
but
scrap?
you,
I'm
yeah,
like,
but you
like, do I-
race car. So then what would you race for rally?
I could get another Fit or just my Fiesta that makes fucking 300 wheels.
If you rallied your
so
Fiesta
fast. It'd
in
be terrifying.
anything but a practice, I'd probably punch you in the dick.
No, it'd be so fast.
It'd be so fast.
It-
It would be.
It'd be
so
cool to
fast.
see it once, and
It'd
after
have
that,
to be on like
all right,
fucking.
stop
It
because
needs
you're
a
gonna
front
hurt
diff
it.
bad.
Well, it needs a locking front, like a limited slip front diff, as well as like. Not even like rallycross tires aren't aggressive enough. You need fucking
I
like
need a-
ITP mud lights.
I
Yeah.
need
Like,
V-treads.
genuinely.
I need fucking the smallest TSL
Some
boggers they
boggers.
make.
yeah
Thorn-
something.
Thornburg.
Ooh.
What's the smallest Baja Pro X they make? Just like a 28 inch. It'd still be too big.
I don't even know if they make a 35.
I don't think they do. I think
What-
the smallest they make is like a 37.
What size is your tire?
My tire?
Yeah.
I have no, like a 225, 45,
Okay, what-
16.
What year?
They're not stock wheels anyway. I don't know what size they would end up
No,
at.
but
It's a 2016 Ford Fiesta ST. They're like a 26-inch tall tire, maybe.
Okay.
They're tiny.
They're
Like, I
only they are only available in 17-inch, 20-inch, and 24-inch.
Oof. So what's the smallest 17-inch
The
Baja
absolute
Pro X?
smallest Mickey Thompson Baja Pro XS you can buy is a 35 1357.
I can't believe they make a 35.
I'm
That
shocked,
means
dude.
somebody's on their
it's 35, 38, or 40, or 43.
that means somebody's on their XJ on
Well, I guess
35-inch Pro
these are the
XSs.
XSs. Hold on. These are XSs. Sorry.
Yeah,
Baja
that's the street ones.
Pro.
are they 15s, 16s, or 17s?
17s.
Okay, so we're gonna go with the 205 40 R17.
Yeah, but I want 15s.
You want 50s?
For rally tires?
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
Oh.
All right, hold on.
I'm in modified.
wow.
I could put any tire on I want.
They only make the sticky in a 43 1450.
That actually makes
That's
a lot of
one
sense.
size.
Because that's what everyone buys, to be fair.
Yeah.
That's what everybody buys a 43.
Suggested use: rock bouncing, rock crawling, mud bogging, or just showing off.
I could be showing off.
This tire is not DOC certified.
You get some general grabbers.
No, I need like dirt track
Mud tires.
I need
You need to. Michael will know this. The very small V treads that all the derby people use.
Oh yeah, I need
So
tiny.
that's what you need.
Like when they take fucking golf carts, put them on the little baby V treads.
yeah.
I need like
Yes.
those.
Yes,
I need some
correct.
ignorant small tire because it makes too much power and has no
Yeah.
diff. But
But we're just gonna fix the
regardless, I'm gonna race this one.
Yeah,
So,
good for you.
To the next picture. Here's my clutch and flywheel.
rusty.
It's everything's kind of turned
Orange.
to brown.
Put some Evappo rust on that bitch.
You think this is because of?
I think that's because
freezer curds.
no, I don't really know actually. Like none of this is a pressure surface,
Fair.
so it's fine. It's just kind of gross.
Yeah. I mean, it is. What year is this car? 08?
Oh wait, yeah.
Yeah,
Oh,
it's
yeah, back
fucking-
here, this is where that O2 sensor wire is.
yeah. I
It's
see
way
that.
on the
I see
back
that
of the motor.
Yellow shit.
Balls.
Yeah.
Don't have to pull the starter to split the two like
Thank
that
fuck.
one.
Neat.
One bolt stays in it, the other one doesn't. You know, it works. It's not going anywhere.
That's fine. Yeah. That's cool.
This bolt right here on the
Yes.
back side of the engine
Yes.
was one of the tightest bolts I've ever had to deal with in my
Now,
life.
let's just clarify this.
Sure.
This is not the front to back picture. This is the passenger or the driver's side looking at the passenger side.
Correct, since it's a side mount engine.
Yes.
So I am the picture is from the driver's headlight,
Yes.
looking at the passenger
What
side.
do they
of the
call
car.
that?
Transverse.
Transverse.
Yes.
No.
There's transverse and longitudinal.
Yes.
Yeah.
Transverse.
Yeah.
Transverse means
Mounted.
sideways.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Anyway, yeah, this bolt up here, I had our extended half-inch ratchet down to
Yes.
about here. I could do
Yes.
one click.
Holy shit.
There's no other angle, no way to get an impact on it because it's tight up against the block.
Yeah.
I
And if you were to put a U-joint on there, it's never going to line up
No.
properly to actually.
I did. I
twist the
tried
bolt.
because I was
Yeah.
so frustrated with it.
I'd fucking try too, but
Yeah.
again, you get to that point where it's so fucking. It's not in a straight line, and it's damn near at a 90-degree angle.
It loses all its torque
like,
immediately.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The minute I hit the trigger on this impact, it's gonna go and not go.
I let
anywhere.
it rattle for a minute. I was
I'm
I was
sure.
tired, but so I'm under just like click 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 click. Like a shorter ratchet, I didn't have enough leverage.
Yep.
Longer ratchet,
Yep.
I'm like I get one click. I'm like fine. This is what I have to do. If it doesn't shear the bolt, we're good. Whatever. Get those. So it's like finally get all the bolts out. I'm like it still won't split apart. I'm just like why?
What's the is
aluminum?
is it aluminum casing?
Both aluminum. So it's like you could see on these pictures like
Yeah, the
there's
corrosion.
some ick
Yeah.
in between all
Did
the
you-
things.
Well, I guess you haven't put it back together. Are you planning on cleaning it up?
Not that much, no. Race car. If it goes back together, I'm never taking it back apart.
Correct.
Fair.
This
I would
is
at
a
least take
problem.
like a wire wheel to it. Just
I'll scrape some of the stuff off, I
Yeah.
guess, but
be done.
ooh, goodness. But so it's like the whole time, like pound a screwdriver in here, pound a screwdriver in there, wiggle this, like fight
What
the
the
whole
fuck?
thing.
Yeah, it didn't use the air hammer
There's
on
no
a
room.
transmission
Yeah, that's
that
fair.
already had a
There's-
bolt in it still and
That's
just
a-
beat the piss out of
You
it?
should have double checked Andy's
I
work. That's your
should've.
fault.
I should have.
Yep.
That
No,
was
there's no
my
room
fault.
for an air hammer because
I only have 4 bolts.
the
not my
intake
problem.
is still here. The radiator's right here. The back of the firewalls, you can't physically fit it anywhere.
You're
Yeah.
fucked.
The bottom was loose.
Yeah, so the
everything
bottom,
else wasn't.
maybe.
Yeah. It
But
was
your
right.
dowel pins are in the middle.
Yeah, it was.
so where it's it can't pivot off of that
yeah,
much.
this little area right above the starter is where it got stuck. And I'm like, this
Yeah.
bolt for the starter is still in. I'm like, I swear it can't go into the housing. There's no way.
Yeah.
You can see it kind of dives around it a little bit.
Right.
I'm like, it can't be holding it together. But beating on this thing forever, except that was the easy part, was actually getting it off.
Mm-hmm.
The problem is beforehand.
Amen.
So here's my transmission.
It's so tiny.
It is like 35 pounds.
Holy
Yeah.
It
shit.
doesn't
small.
weigh. It's tiny.
So
The problem lies in this motor mount right here. Or this technically transmission mount.
Oh fuck, that's right because it's transverse.
So it
the
goes
transmission
Yeah.
is also a motor mount.
Mm-hmm.
yeah.
And it's actually
that's
two
so
of them. There's
stupid.
one
Well,
on
yeah.
the top. There's these 3 bolts on the back, and this one on
Yeah,
the
so
side.
it's kind of like the ship box where you have one
You
on
had the
either
CV
side.
axles already
and
in
a-
those,
and a-
correct?
Yeah, those came
and-
out easy. I was actually impressed. Like, sweet.
Nice.
But
Nice.
the
Do
problem
they
is
just click in or like?
they're C-clips. Yeah, they're so nice.
Oh, fuck
You just
you and
go
your
on-
goddamn C-clip
go on-
ass motherfucking punk
No
bitch.
roll.
You
pins
go
in this
underneath it
bitch.
with a pry bar, and you just go pink, and it slides out. I'm like,
Cocksucker.
this is so nice. Like,
What
I
a
love
bitch.
I love this. No, this rear motor mount, okay? It looks kind of awkward and dumb, whatever.
Yeah.
does.
It goes onto like a circle style bushing where the bolt goes through both sides of it. I'm like,
Okay.
sure, whatever.
Like a
Yep.
like a crankshaft kind of bearing.
It looks like a sideways hockey puck with a hole in the middle.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it's
Yeah.
a fucking half circle.
No, it's a full circle.
Yeah. Full circle.
So I don't know if you could see it actually in this picture. You can't. Son of a bitch.
balls.
Can I see it anywhere?
No,
No.
go fuck
Probably
yourself.
not. No.
Okay, whatever.
I'll pull it up on Rock Auto later. Anyway, this mount is impossible to get off.
How so?
Bec-
Because the bolts don't fully come out without hitting
No,
something.
I wish that was the case.
I hate when
The
engineers
problem is-
design it like that.
The bolts go into it from this outside into the case.
And that's the firewall side.
This is the firewall side. The steering rack goes right here above this mount.
Motherfucker.
The mount is on the bottom of the steering rack.
Ah!
That just bolts on. It bolts on top of the subframe, so you can't unbolt the mount off the subframe because it bolts from the top down, not the bottom up.
So how bad did you want to beat the shit out of somebody?
This is one of the most frustrated I've ever been because I'm like, okay, it's got 3 bolts in it. I can get them out. I got the bolt
But it's a
out.
Honda. They're
It-
so there's nothing
They're
to.
so
It actually
simple.
is still really simple.
But
Other
This
than-
is the
stupid
argument
way.
with Subaru.
If well,
They're
if,
so easy to work on. You just got to do it, and then you go to do it, and you're like, "This is stupid."
if I had known that this was going to be a problem, I would have just dropped the subframe, which
Yeah.
is 4 bolts. I lowered it down all the way those
this
bolts
is
would
me
go.
with the fucking knuckle. I should have
so
just
easy,
I should have
yeah.
just unbolted the whole knuckle and put the whole new one on and bought a parking brake cable
100%.
and a soft line. I've been done 3 days ago.
Yeah. So when I put it back in, I'll just lower the subframe off the rest of the way. Because the
Yeah.
problem is I didn't want the steering shaft to pull apart.
Yeah.
And I have to like somehow line that back up.
Right.
But I'm like, if I just lower the subframe down, it's kind of fine, which is what I ended up doing. Also, these ports are full of like sand.
Sand.
Don't know why. It's a sealed.
Sand.
There's no room to get
Oh,
it.
wait,
Anyway.
wait. Zoom back in.
What? Are you looking at this?
No, zoom back in.
Oh,
Well, that and
That's
go
casting,
go
that's fine.
go down
okay.
over to your right a little bit.
These?
Yeah, look at all the micro cracks in that.
Yeah,
I mean,
no, it's casting.
It,
Race
it
car.
is, it is casting, but
It is race
It
car.
looks way worse than
it does look
doesn't,
way worse.
It doesn't look great. I'm not gonna lie to you guys.
Ah, fuck
it's
it.
fine.
It
though.
makes
Snap-
100 horsepower.
snap
It's
the
not gonna.
fuck-
It's not gonna explode the transmission.
Snap the transmission. Who gives a shit?
If
It's
my
easy to
Fiesta
replace.
trans looked like this, I would be not.
Oh,
happy.
Yeah, because you're
I
making
would- I'd
3
be
times the power.
way
it was
more
meant to work.
concerned.
Yeah.
But no, back to this motor mount. So it's,
When we, 80 mil turbo this fit and blow it up, then we can be concerned.
We could. This is where it will fail.
Yeah,
if the trans
correct.
fails,
That's fine.
it'll blow the gears apart and rip them out of the case there.
Yeah.
But no. So this mount is it's a C-shaped
fuck.
brackety mount with a weird little kick out here. There was a bolt up here. I got that one out, and these bottom 2 bolts. You can't get them from the top
Yep.
because there's bump outs here.
Yeah.
You can't get them from the bottom because the
that
motor
bottom-
mount
yeah.
fills all this space.
Yes, it does.
You can't get them from underneath because the subframe's there. There's no possible way to get this mount
I
off.
legitimately think we need to start a list of stupid things we need to fist fight people over. One of them being the EJ25 design.
You just
And
can't let it
second-
go.
No, because it's fucking dumb.
It's a perfect motor.
No, it's not.
Said no.
Said nobody.
Said
No person with more than 10 IQ
Said
ever.
the designer who already had an offer from Raytheon to build fucking bombs.
One time, but
Fuck that guy.
yeah. Other than this motor mount, everything else on the car is fantastic to work on.
Wasn't
this
there
was
something else we theoretically had to beat the shit out of some dude for?
probably. I mean, look at us. We have plenty of people to yell at anyway.
I want to fist fight somebody so fucking bad.
So where it finally ended up at was I undid all the mounts, pulled this thing way forward against the radiator, laying underneath it with a ratcheting wrench because they're straight
Yes.
and not angled
Yes.
like a regular wrench.
Yep.
with a 2-foot box tube on it, pulling it
cheater bar
every inch of my might. I mean, to the point where it's like, if it moves, I have to stop and breathe.
Yeah.
Like
I'm full, like whole body shaking, like
Yes,
blood
like,
pressures, like you're going to
I'm going to
fucking
die
cramp.
at some point
Yeah.
if I get these out. That's when I thought there was only 2 bolts. Turns out there's 3, whatever. But
Another classic, go fuck yourself.
of course, that's like right when my parents come back from vacation. It's like, how's it going? I'm like,
awful. Get the fuck out of the shop.
as I'm under the car, like,
Me underneath the Subaru.
So it's like,
my
I'm-
arms are tired.
I'm like, I'm willing to rip this car off the jack stands. How hard I'm pulling. I'm like,
Yeah.
if
Oh,
it
yeah.
goes, it goes. And it, like,
if I die,
There are
in the
many times where
process,
the
fuck
Jeep has
it.
been on jack stands. I'm like, I should stop before before it kisses the concrete.
I had thought that thought. I'm like, nope. I'm just gonna keep going. I can. The car doesn't weigh that much.
Again, yes, I've also been there. It's like,
I have
if
nothing to
I die, I
live
die.
for.
The engine hoist is hooked up to the engine
Oh, it'll hold
with one mount
something.
on it. I'm
It's
like,
probably okay.
I'm like, it probably won't
It'll
kill
be
me.
fine.
It might bend or squish you. The worst would be
There's-
getting squished
yeah.
and not being able to get out.
There's-
Just dying slowly.
You'll just
But
have
I'm
a
like-
classic Michael of I'm taking this full
Yeah.
force of this to a certain body part.
But I'm like,
fucking.
I'm like, everybody's home. There's people outside. They got the tractors already
hear me
running. I'm like,
yell,
somebody will notice
hopefully.
me dying.
yeah.
So I'm underneath there, beating on this thing with every ounce of me, and it like moves just a little bit each time. I'm like, just back
need to
out.
get-
As soon as it backs out, I looked. I'm like, can I buy this mount so I can just cut it off? You can't. Can't buy this mount. I'm like, so I have to save it. I can't just cut it in half.
You know what we need to
'Cause
get?
it's stuck around the mount.
Yeah.
It
Yeah.
won't come out anyway because it needs to slide off the engine. But it's the opposite direction, so it blocks it.
Ew.
Yeah.
You know what we need to get for the shop?
That's fucking noose.
That too. No, a communal life alert.
Just beep, 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 beep. Nobody's going to answer it anyway. They'll be like, "Ah,
I'm
you know,"
falling and I can't get up.
It sends a message to the Discord. We just devastate react to it.
because you know what won't happen is I won't bring it down there with me because I'll be pissed and throw it.
Fuck this thing doing on my fucking neck.
Literally. I take everything out of my pockets. I can't have
Oh,
anything
yeah.
on me. I'm just
Yep.
like, 'cause you go to bend your leg and your
That's
phone
the
binds up.
autistic in us. We have to have empty pockets before we
It's
work on
the
100%.
classic. There's too many noises and I can feel my clothes on me.
I keep my knife in me in case I need to 127 hours cut my way out of this car. Other
Correct.
than that, it's empty.
Or if I need an emergency knife or screwdriver, it's there, but we're good.
So like it moves just a little. I finally feel it like go. I'm like,
I love working on cars so fucking much. It's such a great time.
It brings
I
me
hate it.
peace.
I hate it so much. I
throws wrench through a concrete wall.
The amount of time people are like, oh, you work on your own cars. That's so cool. I'm like, no, it's not.
No,
I
it's not.
hate it. They're
It's
like,
a horrible fucking
like,
time.
Why do you say that? Why
Yeah.
did the media lie to you?
they're like, why do you do it then? Because no one else is gonna do it for me.
It fuels my
I'm too poor to let
alcoholism.
somebody else pay for it.
I'm not. I know I can do it. It costs money, so I'm gonna do it myself instead of paying someone else.
Yeah,
I'm
'cause
too
fuck-
broke and
fuck them
stubborn
guys.
to let anybody else touch my junk.
Yeah. So
Me.
it finally like goes like more than an eighth of turn. I'm like, yes. I reach up round. I'm just like, no.
Are you fucking kidding
I'm
me?
like the one bolt I had to get out. Turns out there's 2. But I'm like,
Yeah.
the one.
Did Marcus leave his bolt extractors at least?
But you can't get them on. You can't fit a socket on there because
it's
the motor mount
mounts to there.
blocks the whole thing.
Me every time I go to dealership. Yeah, that'll be $1,200. Fuck you, do it myself. Me while doing it myself. Why the fuck did I decide to do this myself? This is dumb.
No, you just don't do it yourself. You're just like, I'll leave it for later. Yeah. Let me just pull up the rear motor mount because it's pretty. quick to
It'll
get
be
to.
only $1,200 to do your
Engine,
all brakes all the
motor
way
mount.
around. Fuck you. It'll cost me $500 and a case of beer for
we
Brian to sit in the shop and watch.
Here's
me.
my rear motor mount. Okay.
Oh, fuck,
Oh,
that
yeah.
looks fucking dumb.
This picture's actually upside down. I don't know why it is, but these 2 bolts are underneath the
Yes.
power steering rack,
Yes.
way up on the subframe.
Yes.
This one I have out.
Yes.
So it's stuck around this mount.
Yes.
You can't lift it up because it hits the steering rack. You can't go down; it hits the subframe. You can't go
Yes.
forward or backwards because it's stuck on the mount.
Yes.
So it's like,
How much are
Did
these?
you
a
like?
piece?
Did you
$21? Fucking cut the cocksucker
you
out.
can't get to it because
Yeah.
the
How do
mount's
you
in
cut
the
it
way.
out? Yeah. It's surrounded by
An
steel.
air hammer with a
Can't-
chisel on
There's
it.
no room. The
Yeah.
transmission's in the way.
Yeah.
Okay,
The whole
then
engine
a
bay is
torch.
full.
It can't be tight if it's a liquid.
But you'll burn the car down.
I don't
Yeah.
give a
The
shit.
fuel lines run right behind this.
Fuck!
It's so convenient. Everything's small and compact.
How about bend over, go fist fuck yourself, and then put a take it away, Elton John.
I was there several times.
Fuck.
But I'm just like, it's stuck around it. I can't get. I'm just like, if the mount comes out, it's easy.
So the man who uploads maybe 5 Snapchat stories a year. He puts sad cowboy music over top of the picture of the fit. I'm like, oh, it's that bad?
Oh, it's that bad.
I talked to him an hour before. He's like, it sucks. And I'm like, oh, damn.
This would have been Saturday night.
Yeah.
This was when I'm fighting this mount.
You know what's
I was
really,
like, oh, it's sad cowboy music hours.
you know it's really bad when we're either quoting sad cowboy music or Elton John. I think I'm gonna kill myself.
This is the real sad cowboy music.
I
It was
literally
bad.
think for a good 2 hours we had Elton John stuck in our heads while we were doing the shit.
We were playing it out loud too. It's not like we were innocent. It's the only Elton John song worth listening
It's
to.
so good.
Sorry, Elton John fans out there.
Oh,
But literally, like, it's like Andy's texting me. I'm just like, I hear my phone go off. I'm like,
motherfucker!
I'm like, who the fuck's texting me at this hour? And I'm like, oh, it's Andy. He's like, is it that bad? I'm like, yes, but it's not that bad, but it sucks.
It's worse.
Because I'm like, what I don't want to do is like invite him to come help because I'm like, I can do this. I just don't want anyone around me. Like Brad went inside for the night. Everyone's gone. I'm like,
Yep.
I
can
it's one of those
this and get pissed off.
It's one of those you're like, I have to do this myself. If anyone walks in here, I'm gonna lose my shit right
Yep.
now. I'm like, it's going. I got it. It's fine.
It's fine.
I got literally every single bolt off of this thing Saturday night and like couldn't get it out. So I'm like, okay. Stuck a block of wood between the radiator and the engine to keep it from falling out and went home. I'm like, fuck this.
Fuck this. I'm leaving.
I'm done for the day. I came back the next day. I was like, not like it's fine. I'll do it the next day.
Do you know what
it
the
took me until
worst-
like 5 o'clock the next day.
Yeah. Do you know what the worst part of that situation is? Is you get to the point where it's like, fuck this, I'm done, or I'm going to literally rip it out and destroy 20 things in the process. And then you come back to it the next day, it's like, oh.
No, this was not like that.
Well,
The next day was awful as well.
Usually it's like, oh.
It's nice.
If I just put a pry bar in here and pull this way at a slight angle, it will move.
That's
on its
why.
own.
That's why I left Saturday night. I was hoping to come back Sunday morning and be like, oh, this is easy.
No,
It
this
wasn't.
is
It
easy.
still
It's-
sucked.
It's still gonna fucking
It's still.
ass.
So I'm like, drop the subframe. All the bolts start to strip because they're in captured nuts inside of sheet metal. You can't get to them. So I take them out, wire wheel them, spray them with PB Blaster, run them in a little bit, out, in. I'm basically retapping these holes.
Retapping,
Yep.
fuck it.
Because the first bolt I put in there, it tore up the end of the threads. So I'm like, I have to lower the subframe. I have to do this. I have to do that. All that stuff. I'm like, eventually I get to the point, I'm like, everything's off. There's nothing left. I'm like, okay, Brad and Logan, get over here. Like, we're team working this fucking thing. I got the bell housing to pop loose. I'm like, okay, you guys, like Brad, stand up here. Logan, you stay near the jacks. I'm going to lay underneath this thing. We're going to get it out somehow. We're just shaking everything, bouncing the engine off the radiator to get enough room. Eventually it pops loose
Yeah.
and then gets wedged on the radiator. It can't come out. I was like, God, it's so close. It's like, okay, wiggle, 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 and then finally set it down.
That'd be a me laying on the floor with a drink in my hand saying, why the fuck did I decide to do
Literally.
this?
And of course, Brad and Logan have done plenty of this stuff, but on like his Cummonses and stuff.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
He's like, this thing's so light. He's like, what the fuck? He's like, if you did this
It's
with
so
one of mine, it
tiny.
would have killed you.
Yeah.
I'm like, yeah, I can just lay down here, hold it with one hand. It's
Yeah.
not heavy.
Fuck, what
Yeah.
the hell?
He's like, it's so cute.
I remember back in the old days
Oh, fucking.
when I took the transfer case off of the Blazer, and the easiest way it came off was it popped the Jesus fuck what the
You having a stroke?
yep the
What does
the-
it do?
the locator pins
Dowels.
dowels, thank you, and it just onto my chest, and then I rolled it onto my hand, and I was like, well, it's off. And I remember, I won't say who, somebody was in the shop and was like, did you just take that thing to the chest and then roll it onto your arm? I'm like, yep. I'm in a lot of pain right now, but it's on the ground. I'm gonna sit for a couple minutes.
Maybe I should invest in the $150 transmission jack.
I really need one.
Yeah.
The best thing is when you go to set it down and your elbow hits the ground first, and
Yeah,
your arm
like,
is just stuck.
Yeah.
You're
It's
like-
just a support
Yeah,
now.
but you're like, I need to get it down. You're
fuck.
like, I can't.
I
Drop
can't
it.
bring it
It's
up
stuck
to
against
get it
the
off.
ground. It's
Yeah,
like-
fuck.
Like, okay,
Drop
like,
it.
trying to break your arm out from underneath it.
It was
but-
just like putting your transfer case up.
Yeah, it was like that, but in reverse, but everything was in the way.
Yep.
Imagine doing that with the drive shafts both attached
Nope.
and the shift linkage.
I'd-
You're like,
I'd
it's impossible.
I'd rather put a fucking gun in my mouth.
So yeah, that came off eventually. It's like, okay, fine. Rip the pressure plate off, look at everything. After I do all this, I knew the clutch line was bad. How do you think the clutch actually looked? I do all this fucking around, spend
How many miles does the car have? 120,000.
130,000.
130.
I've been hard on it 1 year.
plus Rally racing. I
Yeah.
think it's in okay condition, more to the point of like, yeah, this.
I think it
this-
had the easiest life ever, and it's half-life still. At least.
This could have been changed, but I could have
'Cause
probably
it's a
made it
Honda
little
with a
bit more.
dampening valve
With
on it.
all the softening features.
So,
after I
yeah.
do all this bullshit.
So, how was it?
Oh yeah, here's the car all fucking ripped apart. Look how little, it's just a baby.
It's a
It
little
is
baby.
small.
You can one hand this thing around. It's-
Oh, yeah.
Oh, here's the pipe I was using on the wrench.
Yes.
the wrench that I threw. Yeah.
Fat bitch.
So yeah, survey says, oh, it's the flywheel. Never mind. Here's the flywheel it came off of.
Yeah, it looks fine.
Zoom in a little
There's
more.
some kind of markings, but
There's
it's smooth.
markings,
it's
but it's
smooth
not-
to the touch.
Yeah, I'll say there is no like massive heat
yeah, like
areas on it.
scarring and
Right.
shit.
Yeah.
What there is a lot of dust.
Yeah.
But I think it's just from
fine.
being in dusty areas.
Yeah.
Correct.
And here's the clutch.
What the fuck? It's fine.
That's-
No, it's not.
That's the
Oh,
wear
wait,
groove,
no.
and it's missing.
the wear
some of
groove is
it.
worn out.
Oh.
Wow.
See how it's like gold here?
Yeah.
All the fabric on it's gone.
Oh no.
Wow.
Like these pins are about to start scraping on the
Oh,
flywheel.
yeah.
Play that clip from the monkey and the second Planet of the Apes.
I say I'm like,
Oh no.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh.
yeah, the
Oh,
wear mark
no.
is gone.
Wow.
My brother.
Like this gold color shouldn't be here.
No, it
Yeah.
should not.
Now to be fair, this thing's tiny, but
It's tiny, but
it's
Okay.
it
Yeah.
served
that
its
was
in-
original.
it served its purpose.
Noted.
Yeah, it served its entire life. It is gone.
Wow.
I'm like, that explains why the clutch was feeling like it was getting a little high in the throw because it wore
Hey.
down.
At least it was better than you finally getting the transmission separated from the engine, and there's just dust and the springs pop loose and everything.
I would have been so pissed if I took it apart and it looked great.
Fair,
I'm
yeah.
glad it looked bad. I'm like, thank God. I can
God.
actually,
I found
I'm
the issue.
I can
Yeah.
improve it. Not like I take it apart like, oh, it
Yeah.
looks fine. Like,
You already had the new soft line to replace
the new
For the
so
slave?
the new line replaces the
whole thing.
yes, because it has to go past the delay valve.
Yes.
So it goes from the master to the slave cylinder line. So it goes
Yes.
to
It's like a bypass valve.
this
Yes.
line. It
Yes.
connects to this hard line here.
Yes.
This
That's-
is in great
yeah.
shape.
Okay. Yeah.
But all the soft line gets bypassed with a new stainless
Yes.
braided line.
Okay. Yeah.
Huge upgrade.
Gotcha.
Upgrades, people.
But it goes from right
Yes.
here.
Yeah. Out of the cast
All-
aluminum.
Yeah.
And it turns into the soft line.
Correct.
None of
It
the other
skips
bullshit.
all
Okay.
it skips all the
So
soft
what I
line, all the
figured.
nonsense.
Just wanted to double check.
But yeah, the clutch was in fact worn the shit out. Flywheel
Perfect.
looks good.
Hey, I mean, it's like you said, it's almost better that
Yeah,
way.
I've seen a lot worse.
I prefer that it was bad.
Yeah.
I'm way happier knowing it was
Flywheel
actually bad. Not replacing
It's not
it's
bad.
fine.
Yeah, it's not bad. Fucking brake clean it down. Fucking
Yeah.
slap it together and call it good
Yeah.
enough.
Look, the flywheel.
Maybe
looks
take
good
the
enough.
air compressor and blow off all the dust
There
and
is-
sand everywhere.
There is
and
a
then
lot of
clean it.
dust in a lot of areas,
I mean, yeah, there's
Yeah.
there's a pile of it,
but it's fine.
Yeah.
and
So-
there's some
yeah,
like
no.
like caked pieces up towards the top.
Yeah, I'll clean it up, but
Yeah.
I'm not gonna do anything crazy. It,
No.
Yeah, no.
it feels smooth. There's
Yep.
no marks in it.
Yeah, no.
I think the delay valve saved
Air
it from getting
compressor.
hurt.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
Air compressor and a plastic bristle brush, and you'll be
Yeah,
fine.
just clean it.
Yeah.
It doesn't need anything more.
Get the
but-
compaction off, blow it off, you'll be fine.
Yeah.
Little brake clean, get the surface rust off, and
Yep.
done.
So yeah, that was Sunday. I'm like, I got it off. I set it down, took the pressure plate off. I'm like, it's off. I'm done. What sensors do I need? This. I'm going home. I'm done. Went inside, changed,
this.
ate dinner. That's when Andy called. He's like, you want to get dinner? I'm like, I just fucking ate.
It's like, well, I had to run a proof anyway, so
Yeah.
I didn't care. Whatever.
So that's where that got to. So now I've got the replacement plugs should be here Saturday. I can resolder those on, do them all nice and
okay.
right, and fix that. Then put it back together. Yeah. So now it's like, do I try to take that mount off, like weld nuts to it, actually impact it out, or just get it on there? I think I'm just gonna put it on there somehow.
I mean,
Ugga
yeah,
dugga
it's-
question mark?
well,
It is what it is.
I would have to weld nuts to these bolts, and if I snap them in there, then I'm gonna be really pissed. They're still tight, so it's like I might just leave them. Again, I'm never taking it apart again. If it dies, it's probably dead after this. 'Cause I will.
Well,
I
if
will
it-
have killed
If it dies after this, it's probably either gonna be to the point where it's in the junkyard on a flatbed, or we're probably gonna give it to Michael to demo derby.
If it dies anything more than this, well, if I had a title, which I don't,
Yeah.
K24 motor and transmission.
Yeah.
make 3 times the power.
We could just drag car it now.
It doesn't.
With a K24. I mean,
with a K24, yeah.
I'll say like,
But you can't
drag
drive
cars
it.
don't need
You can't
dials.
drag and drive it. 'Cause you can't drive it to the track. Like,
Bitch, watch.
well-
if I'm a drag and drive, I'd like a title so I can drag and drive.
drive it.
Yeah. So
Buy a Subaru. Just kidding. Don't.
Make a
It's
piss
horrible
missile fucking drag car and just trailer it. Just like,
Yeah.
hey, here it is.
here's my street car.
yeah.
Here's my toy car.
Fuck it. Put a fucking Hayabusa twin turbo.
I was thinking,
Bike
can I
engine
just
in
put like an R1000 motor in this
could.
thing and make more power, rev higher, and probably more torque? I'm not going to, but it'd be cool though.
If you could get the transmission to line up properly.
I say everything's this big, it would fit. Anything would
I mean,
fit.
You'd have some.
I could make
you,
things.
You could make it. Might not be
Kubota
the best.
3-cylinder diesel it.
Maybe.
It's farm vehicle.
Yeah, it's farm exempt. It runs on red diesel. We're fine.
Correct.
But yeah, so it's like that was all weekend. I'm like, this sucks. I'm gonna order my sensors. Not gonna look at it until this weekend.
Yeah. Ugh.
So that's
Sounds
how
like
that
we are
worked.
both elbow deep in projects.
Take
And
it away,
there's-
Elton John.
And there's another one.
Oh, there's one on the chopping block now
Yeah.
too. It's coming up.
So
which
we-
is funny.
I want to say that was Monday.
I don't even.
It was either
remember.
Monday
no,
or Tuesday.
I think it was. No,
It was Tuesday.
Monday.
It was Tuesday because
yeah.
Wednesday we did all your stuff.
Yes.
Wednesday, Tuesday.
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 My
Yeah,
guys.
we're over at my parents' house having like, Dad was breaking in the new smoker.
Oh
Ooh,
yeah,
making
that's
some-
right.
the new one
Nice.
that's been sitting in
new,
the shop.
the
Yes.
new one.
Ooh, how is it?
Awesome.
Fuck yeah.
It'll
Oh, yeah.
hold temp outside in the wind where other smokers wouldn't.
Yeah.
For a
Nice.
little back information, this fucking smoker is a pro level competition grade
Yeah.
smoker. And I am not a big smoked meats guy.
It's
but
impressive.
Motherfucker, can your dad cook some
saying you-
fucking smoked
we can-
meats?
I can buy 3.5 Subarus with the price of this thing for
Yeah.
reference.
It's like $13 then. But
Yeah.
yeah, it's this beast. It's like 3/16 plate, fucking auto pellet feeder. Like this
This,
thing's nice.
This dude don't fuck around.
Yeah. Now, when it runs out of pellets and you forget to check the temperature, well, like, we walked out to the shop to look at the car and it dropped like 60 degrees because it ran out of pellets.
yeah.
So dinner wasn't going to be done until about
mean-
10.
Oof.
So we went.
It's still got some ass in there. The meat will cook.
No, it dropped a bunch of temperature because there was no heat anymore. But
Yeah.
so it's like, well, the meat's not going to be done until like midnight at this point because you need to finish cooking.
Yeah.
It was at like 170. You need to get to 205.
Yeah.
It was going to be like 10 o'clock. We're like, all right, we'll order dinner from somewhere else. We'll eat this
Yeah.
tomorrow,
Right,
which is
yeah.
Wednesday. We're like, all right, fine, whatever.
Right.
So we were there for that, and we ended up eating different food. It's fine.
Yep.
Michael's like, I'm going to do the timing set on the car because it's got enough miles. It probably should get done. Want to replace the water pump while I'm in there. You know, a bunch of little stuff regardless.
Well, yeah,
Cool,
'cause
whatever.
What mileage was
He was
at?
planning to do this Wednesday night?
No, he was just ordering parts for that.
Oh,
He was
okay, okay.
preempt-
Generally
He
speaking.
was
Okay,
getting
okay,
because
yeah,
he's at what, like 150 some odd
Ish,
miles,
something like
he's
that.
at that point
Oh,
where it's
yeah.
like it's
It needs a service
100K is
Yes.
usually the service interval for the timing
Yeah.
components.
Yeah.
And we don't know if it's been done or not. It's like, we'll just
Yeah.
do all the stuff.
Yeah.
Do it right.
So it's like, we finish up whatever. He leaves to go home. When he starts up, he's like, it kind of misfired a little bit, but it's fine. Gets up to Cedar Point-ish, because he lives over that way towards Oglesby.
Yeah.
And then, like, I'm still there talking to my parents. We're kind of getting ready to leave or whatever. My phone rings. I'm like, that's weird. I'm like, oh, it's Michael. He calls me. He's like, I think the car just blew up. I'm like, what do you mean? He's like, I think the head gasket just went.
Classic Subaru.
He's like, I was driving and like, it was, turn the heat on. It's a little cool out, whatever. It's like the temp gauge said about 160 because we get the same digital temp gauge Marcus has.
Yes.
Says about 160, whatever. He turned the heat on. We're kind of doing whatever. And all of a sudden the high temp alarm just goes off.
Yep.
And,
it's
just
blowing
blows
cold.
coolant out of it. He's just like, it spiked to like 230, 240 immediately and just fucking launched coolant out of the thing. So as he turns it off, gets out, like the radiator's cold.
Yep.
He's just like,
So
it,
like
he's like, it just blew
Yeah,
the
it
fucking
ate
head
it
gasket.
for a little bit of reference, I had a very small like pinhole passage leak
At
that
the
just
most,
kept
yeah.
it slowly started to get worse. So like the gasket material, not the metal, but the rubberized coating that they put on them
Yeah.
slowly started to wear away.
Yours
'cause-
was eroding. It was
Yes.
wearing
Yeah.
layers
'cause
off of it.
Water does erode very
Yeah.
fucking well, and Michael's just kind of like shat itself.
It exploded.
And it was.
I think you got lucky.
I
Michael's did the typical 2.5.
Yeah,
bullshit.
it exploded.
And mine
the gasket.
slowly had like a pinhole leak that just got worse.
Yeah, because you were like, oh, I know what a bad head gasket's like. I'm like, no, this is worse.
Yeah.
From Cedar Point to his house, which Andy, you know generally where it is.
Yeah.
It took him
3
like
miles.
He had to turn the car on
Probably
off like
2.5.
6 or 7 times. Because he would start it, drive a little bit, and it would spike.
Because the
It
block's
took
already.
him 3 tries to get out of town.
Yes.
The town is
He was outside of town.
75 people.
He was already outside of town.
Yeah.
He already turned to go towards
because the
his
block's
house.
already fucking heat soaked.
Yeah.
at that
Oh, yeah.
point.
It's
Yeah. Like, he's
And
like,
with the
that's when you're
thermostat,
that's when you're in danger of warping
Yeah.
heads and shit.
Yeah.
Because the thermostat's going to close at a certain degree because it's sensing the outside coolant temp coming in.
Yeah.
But
thinks
it
it's
has
cold.
to go through the entire heads, through the coolant passover pipe, and then out.
Yeah. So I'm like, do you want me to go get my truck and tow you back? He's like, I'm gonna limp it back. We'll see. I'm like, all right, whatever. Because I'm in my car, of course. I'm useless to him.
Yeah, right.
I'm like, okay, well, let me know. I'm like, I can drive home and meet you there or whatever.
Right.
He's like, it took him like 15 or 20 minutes to get from Cedar Point to his house. I'm like, oh. So then Wednesday comes along, and we're like, all right. Marcus wanted to tow his car back to his parents' house anyway. I'm like, that's fine. I'm like,
Yeah.
well, I'm like, I have to do
I wanted
Michael's
to-
first.
I wanted to get
Yeah.
the donor out.
Yeah.
And at that
Yeah.
point, I already had known that Michael's car
because
had,
I
had an
mentioned to you
issue.
guys that night. And
So I was like, hey, if Michael doesn't, want to tow it back, would you
Yeah.
mind possibly getting the donor shit box out of your parents' house?
Right.
Because
I'm
it
like, we'll
doesn't
just-
need to
I'm like,
fucking be there
we'll just do
anymore.
both.
I'll say Brian's on tow duty. It's
My
just-
truck's already hooked up to the trailer. I'm like, I'll just do
Sure,
both.
yeah.
He's just
do
that
whatever.
guy
Yep.
with a trailer,
So Marcus is
man.
like, you guys want some help? I'm like, yeah, sure. Roll about
I had
6:15 or
nothing better
whatever.
to do.
I figured.
Yeah.
We got to Michael's house. First of all, dogs. He's got 2
Yes.
basset hounds, big old fluffy. For like
One of them's
10
really
minutes.
fat.
They're
It's
both
funny.
fat. They're basset hounds. They're all fat. But
Yeah.
then Michael goes to start the car. What was your impression of that, Marcus?
So it started to crank over.
Mm-hmm.
Sounded
'Cause
fine.
he was closer to it than me.
Then the
Yeah.
minute he took the key off the starter,
As it fired.
it went from a standard room to
As
like
you could hear the cylinder
you could
compression
hear
leaving.
Yeah.
the coolant getting pushed out of the cylinder head
Mm-hmm.
through the exhaust, evaporating through the cats, and then out.
It was bad.
It cleared up, which you knew after it cleared up. You're like, yeah, you had standing coolant sitting in your heads. Well,
Oh,
good
yeah.
thing we already know how to tear this entire engine apart and redo it.
Yeah, awfully convenient. But yeah, it's like,
Yeah.
go
Oh,
there,
God.
pull it up on the trailer.
Do
It's
it
like-
again.
Of course, he's like revving with it because he's just like, it's already fucking hurt, whatever.
Like,
It's like,
Michael, stop.
I'm like,
you're
it's-
going to cause more damage.
Don't warp the head. God
it's
forbid.
idling like black smoke and white smoke. I'm just like, this thing's gonna die.
I'm curious what the fucking engine codes he has are.
I don't think it has
I don't
any.
think it
mild
has any
misfire
code.
on
probably,
cylinder one.
probably has like a knock code, but no, I
like,
can't
like you could smell coolant
Yeah.
from everything
off of mine just because it pissed it everywhere that was semi-warm.
yeah.
Yeah.
His
Michael
was
smelt like burning coolant the fucking second he turned it over.
the second you got near the car.
I
it
was
just
like, Michael,
fucking
this
reeked.
sounds and smells like shit. And funny enough, right after he took this picture, he pulled the hood, and I think we showed the clip at one point, rally practice, when I pissed the overflow or the reservoir cap
Okay.
blew
Yeah,
off,
yeah.
Right.
and it was bubbling out while the engine was off.
Mm-hmm.
Michael pulled his reservoir cap off, and it was all smoky and bubbling. And I'm like, yep,
Yeah.
you got a fucked up head gasket, my friend.
Because at first we're like, maybe the thermostat just stuck closed and it built too much heat and just like popped off the radiator cap. It's like
This is a Subaru.
It-
you can't
no, it-
apply logic to this.
It pissed coolant everywhere.
it went.
Which, thank
Yeah.
God. So Michael has already ordered the Gates timing
belt kit.
component.
Yeah, he'd already
kit.
ordered.
he was
half
going
the-
to do that. Yeah.
He was
Yeah.
going to do timing and water pump and thermostat. You know, he's going to do all the
Yeah, the
stuff.
front end stuff, not the
Yeah.
head stuff.
Correct.
So now he's ordering
Now
head
he's just gonna
gaskets.
do a couple more bolts.
But funny
Yeah.
enough, I have all of the parts and extra gaskets for the
Yeah.
intake, the coolant pipe.
Because Marcus orders too much stuff.
is he gonna
Well,
pull the motor? Or is he
Yeah,
gonna do it
we're-
in frame?
We're going to pull the motor and trans out.
Motor and trans.
Because you want to do like a fluid change on the transmission stuff anyway, because it kind of shifts a little funky.
So we're basically going to do exactly what I just got done doing
again.
Apparently
His is easier because his CV
Bull
axles.
fucking
His
shit.
CV axles don't have pins; they just pop out.
Yeah.
Cock-sucking bullshit.
He's like, his shouldn't be that bad. And
If
his
it's C-clips, I'm going to fucking snap
it
them on
should be.
purpose.
That's not very nice of you.
Oh, that's funny.
But yeah, so it's like, of course, it's like, we just finished
Do
one
it
and the next
again.
one blows up. So on the bright side, Marcus feels real good about doing head gaskets
Yeah,
on his motor
I'm
right
like
now.
a fucking. I am a
He's so
Subaru taught.
Aficionado.
Yeah.
I'm a master service tech for Subaru.
But
I've
the fact-
watched enough YouTube videos to know exactly what the fuck I'm doing.
The fact that you did yours while it was out, you're just like, yeah. You're like, mine's at 150,000 too. It was probably going to get close to this. So, yeah.
they're just so easy to work on. I don't get why everybody doesn't have one.
because they break all the time. So, yeah, we've got another Subaru to fix. Yay.
Can't wait to do
Just
that.
buy a fucking 2.2 liter next time. I don't know who else has to hear this.
Bitch, you
shit.
have your problems too.
The motor
his
either
is all-
works or it doesn't.
his
There
is
is none of
all-
this like,
If-
the
if-
head gasket.
If
just
I
fucking
buy another
works all the
Subaru, it's
time.
gonna be an FA because I'm done fucking with the stupid shit.
If I buy a Subaru, it's going to be a Mitsubishi.
Fuck no.
Fucking,
I
I'm buying
owned
an
one. I
Evo.
hated it more than any Subaru I've ever
But they
worked
spent
on.
all the money on the motor. None of it's on the interior or drive quality.
God.
Take it away, Elton John.
Yeah. Speaking of taking away, I think we're done here.
Yeah, I
it's
have
late.
tire or rims to fucking clean yet.
You got WRC times to beat.
Fuck you. Fuck you. By the way, shout
Beat
out
the
to
brakes off him.
our podcast YeeHaw lads and crew.
Discord.
Discord and Facebook group.
and Facebook group. We're more active on the Discord.
They're about
yeah,
equal.
yeah.
We don't
Potato,
do much
potato.
on either, but yeah.
But yeah, if I don't know, somebody made it to the end of the episode and wants to download and play WRC, we have a group.
you made it.
channel.
Don't ask
A
me.
channel on
well,
Discord.
it's a channel on Discord, but what's the actual name?
it's
for
WRC
team?
gameplay.
Gameplay.
Yeah.
Thank
Yeah.
you. RaceNet.
Yeah.
So yeah, if you want to join the WRC thing,
Club?
yeah, the club. Thank you.
I'm like, what word are you looking for?
We do time trials and shit, and Brian beat the fuck out of
The
me, and I'm
fucking
still
brakes off.
pissed.
Beat him by 30 seconds.
fucking
Let's
cocksucker.
go.
Well, I'll say I wasn't able to do it today because my parents had friends over. But tomorrow after work,
You're going to put down a time.
I will put down a time. It will be on controller. It won't be on sim. But if I need to come, what I would like to
Come?
do is
Do it on the sim and
put
on the
up a
controller.
time on controller and then try to at least match it or get like within 5 seconds of it on sim.
See
Yeah.
which one's actually quicker for
We
you.
talked a little bit about this.
Honestly, I
beforehand.
think the fucking sim might be faster.
I think
I'm not
it
even
is, 'cause
kidding
you could
Yeah.
float
You
a
can
lot
float
nicer.
so easy on it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
and you can feel when your tires break loose.
Feeling
and
slip
shit.
is so
Correct.
underrated.
Yeah, it is hard to
But,
fucking
like,
feel anything.
I'm
with
to the
controller.
point now where I don't even get through the first section, and I'm like, well, I took that fucking corner too wide,
Hey,
and I
Marcus.
got up on the fucking edge, and now I got to fucking restart.
Try BeamNG's rally mode.
He tried it on
did.
mine.
It's not that bad. It's bad,
Oh,
but not
me
that
on
bad.
controller trying to beat
Oh,
the times.
I'm
dude.
sure controller
The fir-
versus steering.
I know
is fun.
within the first 3 corners if I can beat the time or not. I'm like, nope, redo,
Yep.
redo.
That's
redo,
what he's
redo.
doing on that.
Yeah,
Oh.
and I'm fucking pissed.
Meanwhile, on the times that I'm beating
Oh,
him, I'm
shit.
spinning out multiple times. I still
Yeah.
beat it because I'm just like, I just recover.
That's why I'm
quickly.
confident. I'm like, I feel like I can
Manage.
I can put a decent time on controller, and I would like to come get close to it.
Let's
with,
go. Let's go. Oh,
Will you hand that over to Andy?
Oh, the Bobcat. Yeah, the Bobcat.
Yeah, I talked about that last episode. I found that at home and brought it.
How
to
about
you.
that?
So,
On that note,
let's get the fuck out.
thanks for watching. Thanks for listening. We'll see you next time.
Bye.
Bye.